Live. Hello, people. I guess right now the people would only be on the replay, so I'll talk slow. McDevitt, Myers and the Mouse, and me. 3Ms. How's everybody doing? I'm going to pull up the chat. Pete, you look all lit up.
I am all lit up. I am in the confines of the McDevitt Castle, hiding in my office, trying to keep the wife from yelling because she's in bed. She's to work at 4 a.m. So 9 o'clock.
Like in England time or something? What's going on with that? All right. So she wakes up early. That's no fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely good.
So you're a Ravens fan, or you're dressed very strangely?
I am a diehard Ravens fan.
Sorry about
Ravens fan. I think I have the most rings in this chat right now.
Ooh.
I live in Dallas, so unless you're a Pittsburgh fan, I don't think so. I'm a Chargers fan from birth, but a Cowboys fan from when my wife made me move.
By choice.
That's I was going to say that.
There you go.
And Kelly, you're in USC red, right?
No, that would be Kansas City Chiefs red.
Whatever.
Loudest stadium in the world.
You guys seem so nice. How can I have a Ravens fan and a Chiefs fan in here?
I think it's more depriving of the Chiefs fan. I think this year I'm going to spend a lot of time mediating. I've taken my HR classes, Kelly. I'm ready.
At least twice, maybe 3.
I'm surprised he actually put me next to him wearing a Chiefs jersey.
I figure out how to move it. I'll move you. Trust me. I don't know. All right, let's see who we got here. Mike Wheeler in the house. Preston in the house. Myers and the Mouse in the house. Well, I'm going to say that a lot. Mike Wheeler again. Tammy Clark, what's going on? Lisa, what's going on? We got 16 in the chat. Sierra Tails, Jelly's Journeys, Perfectly Cat, Pam's, Bam, Disney Fanatic, PTV to my mouth needs to work better.
PTV.
Disney World Freak, we just mentioned you. How are you? So what the heck are we doing this year? Who wants to tell the peeps what we're doing? I feel like there's an announcement to be made.
I'll tell you what, I don't mind jumping in there, Jeff, and Kelly you guys can jump in on top of what I got going. We came up with the idea of getting together and having a NFL watch party, which is going to be a lot of fun this year because we are going to bring to you a different insight than Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, or any of Michael Irvin's peeps that he's got out there. We plan to bring it to you live as the action's going. And, of course, when these two guys get going with their Chiefs and Chargers fight back and forth, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have friends on throughout the year talking about some of their favorite teams and enjoying the watch party with us. We're going to have weekly predictions. We're going to start off in 1 week from tonight where the 2 gentlemen sitting next to me and hopefully one surprise guest will be putting their predictions out for this year. League champions, division champions, playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions. Could be interesting. We're also going to talk about our Rookie of the Year selections, who we think is going to come out on top of those offensive and defensive players. And, of course, your MVP. And that'll all be in the first week. But it's really going to be an interactive chat for us to have a little bit of fun and watch a game. Look, Kelly's already running away. We brought the Chargers, Chiefs. He ran away.
I scared him away. I don't know what happened. I went to type and I turned around. It was just you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
The Jersey game got better, but I don't know.
I just got a text. He says, "Be right back." Power went down. So in Kansas City, when you don't pay your bills, the Chiefs turn off the lights.
I know they're not in San Diego anymore, but San Diego Superchargers might have had a little thing to do with that. Chill's in the house. Flat Earth Forums in the house. Pepper Tree Villa in the house. We got 2 Pepper Tree Villas in the house. Perfectly Cat still in the house. I think I might have to remember this. I haven't even said much yet, and I already scared away the little Chiefs fan. I think I like that.
Well, it's an interesting concept with all that is going to be going on between you two guys, which will be great. But it's going to be fun. We're gonna we got a couple other things that'll be interesting. We are working on getting a league up, a fantasy league, which will be on either FanDuel or something similar to that, where for a nominal amount, a couple bucks, people can get into the league. They'll be able to challenge us, Jeff, which would be great. They could also be able to challenge other people in our community, which would be kind of fun. That would be a weekly fantasy thing.
So they don't have to play every week, right? They can show up for a certain week and then not another week and dive in and out, right?
Absolutely. So hoping that'll be, generate a little fun and a little bit of smack talk, which I'm sure will happen. My son's already hit me up for wanting to get in, which doesn't surprise me. He's pumped up about that.
I love it. Yeah, his little banter back with Steve the other night was I was laughing out loud. I don't type in LOL very often, but I was actually laughing out loud. I love it. I'm so looking forward to this. So I'm sorry that Kelly's not here for this, but I was going to mention that last year I went live. I think that's where Kelly and I really got to know each other. Just did some NFL watch parties, and they were very well received. People inside and outside the Disney community seem to enjoy them. This is going to be 1,000 times better than that because you're here. And well, I was going to say and Kelly's here, but he's not. So,
we added. Is he back?
No, it's my phone. I thought it was.
I'm watching mine to see if he texts me again, but I'm sure he'll be back in a couple minutes. I think the fun thing too will be as we go. I'm gonna have kind of updated odds as we go along, as everybody knows from doing the different interactions that we've had within our Disney community. I've thrown out some fun odds out there, and we're definitely going to throw out some regular odds. I hate to tell you that your Chargers are not the odds-on selection for this year in Vegas, but we can talk more about that next week when we actually dig in a little bit.
So we learned that I'll have to fix Vegas and your odds apparently, but
I don't know.
Yeah, we need our running back needs to decide to come play, or we're probably not going to do as well. And that doesn't matter if I'm talking about my Chargers or my Cowboys.
Yeah, your Cowboys are struggling right now without a running back, and that's going to make my fantasy leagues next week a little tough to select from.
I mean, right? Because, so I don't know how much we want to talk football tonight so much, but there's no way they both can sit out, right? Like, I mean, I want to say that, but then Mr. Bell is a Jet, not a Steeler, so who knows?
Yeah, well, I really think that Zeke will be the one that comes in first because Jerry Jones's ego is not going to allow him to go into week one. In a divisional game, I think that might be. Let me take a quick look.
They usually open with the Giants. I just read today, and I didn't read the article. I just read like the first two or three lines that Zeke is down in the Bahamas losing a bunch of weight. So I wonder if that's part of this.
That could be interesting.
If he just didn't want to come in. I mean, he doesn't have anything to lose.
The Cowboys are at home. Hey, Disney fanatic, great to see you in here. The Cowboys are at home against the Giants in a 4:25 game on the Fox. So, I think that well before that weekend comes along after week 4, I think Zeke's going to be signed. The Chargers, questionable. He could hold out a little bit. They've talked trade. Melvin Gordon is a key player.
Chargers said no. Melvin Gordon talked trade. Chargers said come play. Yeah, Disney Fanatic said, what are the odds of the Chargers win 6 games without Melvin Gordon? He'll be there. What's he going to do? Sit out? He'll be there.
And he still wants to get paid,
If I were a running back, I would probably be a tough. I mean, I have trouble because if you sign a contract, I'm old school that way. You got to go play. But that said, you're a running back. Your shelf life is, they're both at the end of their shelf life, even though they're both at the top of their game. There's just no doubt.
Week 4, and then he can still come in without having to go through. I think it's week 4 of the season, of the regular season. So he could hold out that long. So it will be interesting to see how that rock and rolls, with that. So yeah, it'll be good. We're gonna talk each week, update for the next week, and look into those games that are coming up. We're gonna talk. We'll talk a little bit about a Survivor. There is a Survivor pool that is going on for Survivor League, which is it's a private league, but there's a lot of friends that are in it. So I'm sure there'll be some smack talk on that as some of those people make the wrong selections.
As long as I'm alive, I'll be talking. If
after that, you don't care.
Yeah, I'm at. Well, I will. RB is in the house. Sandy A7 in the house. So if you just got here, the announcement is we're going to be going live. Oh, I think our friend is back. Oh, maybe not. There he is. Boom. He was there and he was back. There he is.
Oh, and now that, gentlemen, is why the Chargers are not as good as the Chiefs. That's the whole story right there.
Superchargers just zapped you.
So, Kelly, my question is, Kelly, have you been talking that whole time about how bad the Chargers are? And
That's
just
right.
Came back in? Okay, good.
I
Perfect.
just got it all explained to everybody. I hope you all understood.
And that's what I will do in the season if you start popping off. Just boop. Unless you're on your tournament, then I guess I can't do that. The Shep family in the house. What's going on, my friend? So a couple people popped in. The announcement is we're going live Thursday nights during the ball games, talking smack. So I did check. My Chargers are only on there once, and your Chiefs are always only on there once. I don't remember your Ravens. Pete, do you know how many times your Ravens are on Thursday night?
National TV. I think we're only on once, and I think it's a Sunday night. I'm not predicting a major year for the Ravens. I will be honest. I watched the first half of the Green Bay game here. Number one offense against their number one defense, and I was pleasantly pleased that we actually threw the ball. Last year we ran, and then in case nobody else knew, we ran again. And the Chargers figured that out.
How old's your quarterback? He's like a junior high kid, right?
He just graduated high school. He actually has acne issues, so we're working through that. And he is working privately at a local snowball stand in his off season down here to make a little bit extra funds. But
and my Chargers quarterback it's not Dan Fouts, but it's pretty close. He's been there since 20,000 years ago.
Absolutely. Well, I give your Chargers credit because we came out there and we played you early in the year last year with the brand new look, and we beat you. And then your defense went back and said, all right, here's how we're going to play it. And you shut us down in the playoffs and knocked us out. And it's kind of exactly what I told all my friends who didn't want to hear it was going to happen. So I'm hoping that Lamar turns out to be the diamond that they predict him to be and that I'm wrong. That's what I hope.
So as a Ravens fan, were you happy that they moved Flacco out or no?
I don't know if I was happy that they moved Flacco out. I would have liked to have seen him when we struggled that first half of the playoff game against you. I would have liked to see him bring Flacco back in and give us a chance to win. But the decision had already been made that this is where we were going. We're on the Lamar train. They traded up to get him. Yeah. They invested a lot in him to get him. There's no doubt the kid's got talent. I mean, the kid is it's ridiculous to watch him. It's just my question is, how is he going to handle his reads? How is he going to handle his pressure? We all know from past experience, run first quarterbacks, they don't do that well in the NFL. If he learns how to find his way and throw, and I did see a couple reads tonight where he started to run and then jumped back out and threw the ball. So those were some great things to see. So I'm excited about the potential. He's definitely not the quarterback they have in Kansas City. Not many people are, and Kelly's up for a good year this year.
Talking about an interesting guy to watch. So you're wearing a Chiefs jersey. I can't quite see it. Who's the player? RVing to Disney says they've got a Priest Holmes jersey. Billy Sims? I don't know who you got there.
No, actually, it's an older version. It's actually one of my favorite numbers, but the player's no longer with the team.
22? Is that what I thought?
22 is correct. Do you know who it is? McCluster.
Oh, wow. He was quick.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he
lightning fast.
I really thought our team to Disney was awesome, but apparently she's a Chiefs fan too, so I don't know what to do about that.
What are we going to do about that? That's crazy.
Hey, Atwood in the house, Myers in the house. Willie Parker in the house. I love it. Zachary Pollock in the house. Yeah, Willie Parker was in on many of those sports streams last season. I can't believe it's this season already. Disney Fanatic says, how about those Raiders downing Kyler Murray right now? So there's not many things I like less than the Chiefs, but the Raiders are one of them. I really, really hate the Raiders. Please,
tell you what, I met Chucky years ago, about 10 years ago when he was 11 years ago, when he was still in Tampa Bay. It was before the Ravens really kicked in here, and I was down in Tampa, saw a game, went to a kickoff, and got to meet Gruden, and it was great. Gruden's awesome. So may not like the Raiders, but I like Gruden.
He looks like the kind of guy that's always on. Is he always?
He was very calm that night. I mean, I sat and talked with him for about 2 minutes. Very cordial. Took a picture with him. Wished him the best of luck. And it was great to see him do the mannerisms. I mean, because he just does them as part of real life with how he does his facials and everything. And I was marking out for it because I'm watching it on TV and seeing Chucky, and then here he is face to face, and I'm seeing it. But it was good. It was pretty good seeing a game in Tampa Bay. They do a good job down there in Buccaneer land. So. But I am looking forward to.
Like the Raiders.
Yeah.
Do not.
I don't think either one of you do.
I hate the Raiders.
No, I hate the Raiders too.
Al Davis has been dead for a decade. I'm still mad at him.
I think Denver is at the top of my list. Then the Raiders, then the Chargers. In probably pretty that order.
That is good to know. Preston, Go to eBay, order me a Raiders jersey. I'm gonna need them for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
I really do hate the Raiders. Like most of it will be kidding, but when I'm talking about the Raiders, that's actual true hate.
Well, one of my all-time favorites was a Raider.
No.
I am a diehard Bo fan. I love
Okay,
Bo
I like
Jackson.
it from Bo.
I loved Bo Jackson as a baseball player. I loved him, his charisma, and his character as a person for what I saw on TV as far as his television persona. And
I'm guessing Mr. Casey over there probably likes him a little bit too.
yeah, he was a
a
Royal.
little bit. It was short lived, but yeah.
It was though.
Now see, you start getting into baseball, and I'm talking about Willie Wilson and
Willie Wilson.
Brett and
Yes.
those guys. Yes.
Willie
Those
Wilson.
were my guys. George
Old
Brett.
school.
Yeah.
I was a big
85.
Brett Saberhagen guy back in the day. At least every other
yeah.
year I was. Every other year he was Brett Saberhagen.
Right.
That's true. And we'll probably, with this channel, even though we are talking NFL Watch Party, I mean, there's a good chance that with these two gentlemen that I have and their knowledge of baseball, that as we get into the playoffs, as October heats up, there will probably be some interesting dialogue.
When the Dodgers are in the playoffs, there's zero chance I won't be talking about it, watching it. So have I told you, you guys are Disney guys, not last year, but the year before, I went to Disney during the World Series.
Wow.
And they lost Game 7 because Darvish is an idiot, but that's a whole nother thing. And I was at the Magic Kingdom watching the stupid Houston Astros do their stupid parade as I come out of Pirates of the Caribbean. I felt like God was mocking me. I got a little video, but I hit delete as soon as I was done because it makes me mad.
Oh,
I
my
would
gosh.
have paid good money to see that.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought that up. Disney World Freak is big Brett Saberhagen fan. Dang, especially on Nintendo. The dude was good. I'm guessing he was good on Nintendo. Willie Parker likes Braves, which I'm sure you'll get to watch my Dodgers thump your Braves, so that'll be good for you. So I'm guessing. I mean, we got the Royals. Orioles? Pete?
No, just so we know, I am a diehard fumble. Ravens got it. Sorry.
Get used to that this year.
Yeah.
Get a lot of that.
Our defense is going to be solid. I'm happy about our defense. I just don't know about our offense. The Orioles. I'm going to be 50 a week from Friday, and I've been a diehard Orioles fan since I can remember. One of my best memories with my dad was going to games when I was young and seeing Orioles, Yankees, and those players that played in that time frame, which is great. And to this day, I still live and breathe and die with that orange and black. As I know, I don't think Mouse Talk's in here right now, but me and Walt have a kindred spirit when it comes to that. But right now, we're about the equivalent of a AAA team. We are in a rebuilding process, but you got to just have faith in the process. How
long is that process allowed to go?
Well, here's my thing. To quote WWE, I'm going to walk with Elias. Elias came over from Houston. He did a good job in 4 years of rebuilding that franchise from the days of the Astrodome that we remember to what they are now, which is a quality organization. And I'm hoping he does the same. So we started with a great draft class this year. I'm hoping it continues to grow. So we'll see. We've done some dumb moves over the years. We are still the club that basically traded Eddie Murray for Juan Bell with the Cleveland Indians. We are the club that had Brady Anderson popped up on roids, hitting 50 home runs, and didn't trade him for several key moniker players. And we are still the club that is owned by Peter Angelos, and he was more worried about suing the Nationals than he was winning championships. So we've got a little ways.
The way back machine. He mentioned Willie Wilson. You mentioned Juan Bell. Dang.
That was the Eddie Murray for Juan Bell trade is what it turned out to be. I'll never forget that as long as I live. And Murray went out and hit his 500th home run, if I remember correctly, with the Indians, as opposed to with
my Dodgers, and had a pretty dang good year, as a matter of fact.
He did. That's true. He did.
So let me ask you this, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, so both of our love of our teams are from our childhoods. For me, it was the Royals and Orioles. And what about you? What did you grow up with?
Well, So I was born in LA, but at 5 we moved to San Diego. But I was already a Dodgers fan. My grandma was a big Dodgers fan, so I was born Christmas Day '69. So your birthday's a couple months in front of mine, Pete. But I also turned 50 Christmas Day this year, and so the '77 Dodgers, which are nope, hold on,
Right there. There's a hat.
yeah, right
Nice.
there. I have to change my spot when I'm sitting here. They were my first love. They went to the World Series. They got beat by Reggie Jackson, so we don't like him either. But that's a whole nother thing. But
I see Willie
yeah.
Parker's an Orioles fan. I'm liking it, Willie.
yeah, he's all right, even though he doesn't know what team to root for. But that's okay. But anyway, so I grew up in Southern California. I don't not root for the Padres. I would have rooted for the Padres, but I was already a Dodgers fan. I went to more Padre games than anything because that's when I was a kid. Hey, Craig's Robotics, what's going on? But yeah, I'm a Dodgers fan, and I was a Rams fan originally because I was a Southern California kiddo. I didn't really leave rooting for the Rams. It felt weird when they went to St. Louis, and I was more by then anyway. So I don't know if I'm answering your question. What did you ask me? Well, I don't even know what I'm doing here. But that's those are my teams.
You answered it. You're good.
And then moving out here to go. You know, I love sports radio. Southern California has way better sports radio than Dallas, like way better. But you can't like it's Cowboys all the time. Like even during the baseball season, it's Cowboys all the time. So they kind of just sucked me in. And I mean, they got the cheerleaders, so I'm all down for that. So
I'm looking at my son posting "Go National" to "Go Phillies." So if you see me do this, I'm probably smacking him.
So you can't like the Nationals and the Phillies because you know Mr. Harper made it. So what's going on with that?
That's the whole reason. He's a Nationals fan, but Harper went there, and he's got a bunch of Harper stuff. So
there you go.
He has to follow the bandwagon. So, but for everybody coming into the chat again, we're going to be talking NFL primarily during the watch party. I couldn't pick two better gentlemen to sit and have some interesting conversations about live action, and it's going to be great on Thursday nights. Some predictions coming, some odds. We're going to call out some of our friends and buddies as we bring them on when we have those grudge match weeks that we know will be a lot of fun talking on here. And we're looking forward to the interaction of the chat and the community jumping in and seeing where we can go with it. I think the fantasy league could be a blast. Touchdown Ravens. I'm just saying, touchdown Ravens again.
So you know you're diehard if you actually care what happens in the preseason.
I'm actually enjoying the fact that we're doing something new this year at the stadium. Because I have season tickets, so I'm not there tonight because I'm here. But when we score a touchdown, we are turning the lights on and off. So why we're doing that, I don't know. But hey, all right, something new.
Might it be the power thing like in Kansas City we got going on?
Right.
Something.
Yeah, we're into tornado watch right now, and
I was going to ask you, was it weather related? Okay, wow.
It's coming your way, Jeff. Sending it down to you.
I don't think so. I think my mom lives in St. Louis, so my mom
from the north, coming south. So.
Disney fanatic on there and saying off topic, what are your opinions on reviewing pass interference calls and non-calls? Jeff, why don't you go first on that?
So I would like the referees to pretend like they actually know what game they're watching. How about that? That would be good. The NFL's referees have been so bad the last years. And by the way, Dez caught that ball. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about? So, you know, I don't like replay because they take too long. But the pass interference calls are affecting the game. You could probably make an argument to go deep every time. There's so many dang pass interference calls. So because the refs have been so bad the last few years, I'm going to give them a chance. But I think the officials will screw this up. What do you guys think?
Kelly?
I agree. I don't think they're going to get it right. I think they're going to mess it up. It's going to delay the game more. It's going to be an issue.
So my thought on it is I wish they would have – I like the fact that they're fixing that because last year's New Orleans game was atrocious for the playoffs. What I would have preferred to see it where maybe it was just something for the final 2 minutes of the halves rather than the whole game. If you're watching some of the preseason games already, you're seeing some of the coaches kind of throwing these flags at different times, just trying to test the waters right now. So I hope it doesn't slow the progress and the flow of the games to where it becomes so monotonous that we're just do a couple plays waiting for the refs, do a couple plays waiting for the refs. is what I hope. Hey, Rachel, I see Rachel Sausages in here. Good to see Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
So that's where I hope, but I want to get it right because I agree with you about Dez, and the New Orleans call last year was just. Ugh.
So what's going on with that? Like, they're actually suing for what? I don't even understand what's going on there.
I don't know. When it starts getting to that point, that's when I turn away. That's how the NFL can turn me off. So I've kind of stayed out of that whole legal. I watched the other night on Sports Talk Saturday night. So Steve and Walt, who are going to be a sponsor for some of the odds on this year's show.
I love their show, by the way. I love their show.
They do a great job. Saturdays at 7 or 8?
That feels right. I think so.
I think it's close to that, but definitely check those guys out. They touched on the topic with kneeling and Colin Kaepernick and how that went. They handled it very tactfully with a lot of respect to both sides of the view. But when you start getting all that stuff involved in my sports, I'm not too happy about that. I watch my sports to get away from all the daily challenges. I want my sports to be just that. I want to see the athletes go out and do it. If they want to, protest, do whatever. If they want to fight for all that is respectable, but kind of do that on your own, not during the games. And that's kind of where
I don't mind political talk. I don't want political talk during the NFL game. I can go to Fox or CNN or my grandfather's house. I don't understand why the NFL has to get so political. It actually makes me mad. I don't know why both sides of the political aisle aren't annoyed with the NFL right now. And it seems to me that they should, here it comes. They should fire the stupid commissioner just because he seems to care about politics more than a game that I love.
He definitely is into that. Disney Fanatic had a great point. I think pass interference is a judgment call up the referee's decision. For that, I don't believe you need a replay because then you're analyzing something in slow motion, which is true. I mean, the replay does bring it back to slow motion.
If they start to do that, here's my problem with it. If they start to do that, then they can do it for holding too. And you know what? There's pass interference on more than half of the pass plays, and there's holding on probably 80% of the passing plays and more than half the running plays every play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Nobody goes to watch the refs throw the flag. It bugs me a lot. I don't know. I think we have too many rules. I'm not saying the games.
We want to be fair.
I mean,
play the game. Play the game. See what you see. Call what you call.
Yes. So the Calvin Johnson catch, the Dez catch. There was another one that's not popping in my head. We all played in our backyard when we were kids, and we knew what a catch was. I don't need to read in the book what a catch is. Dez caught it. Calvin Johnson caught it. Again, there's a third one. I'm not finding it in my head. Doesn't matter. If my 9-year-old, I work with kids. If we're playing in the backyard with kids at after-school program, and they know it's a catch, and it's obvious it's a catch, but if you find something in the book that makes it a not catch, you have to explain it to a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old fan, and explain to me why that's not a catch. That's stupid. And I think the pass interference thing, and I know I added in holding, I think they're just taking it a little too seriously. I mean, a catch is a catch. A hold is a hold.
Yep.
What do you guys
think?
think?
Well, I have to definitely agree with you. I know we want the game to play. I mean, we want it to get it right. It's kind of that we're trying to find that fine middle of the row where it's used at the right time, done the right way to get the calls right. NFL fans, much like every other sport, it doesn't matter whether you're talking hockey, basketball, whatever it is, fans are passionate. A lot of people live and die with their teams. They bleed their colors and will wear them. One of the things that I always say when I talk to people, being a Ravens fan, you get that Steelers whole fight, and I am not a Steelers fan by any way, shape, or the means. But I will say this, and touch about your Cowboys. Cowboys and Redskins fans and Steelers fans, the team could be 16-1 or 1-16, and they're still wearing their colors. They're still driving around with their flags going, and that's the way a fan should be. I'm still wearing orange and black. I went with Mouse Talk to a AAA game for the Orioles the other day, wearing my Machado jersey, even though he's going to San Diego. I still had it on, and I believe you do that, whether you win or lose.
That is something about football that becomes almost cultural. Like, I mean, I know we're talking NFL tonight, but I come from San Diego, and San Diego State, while they had Marco Falk, and that was a great time, it doesn't have the same passion. That now I live in SEC land, and oh my gosh, people are nuts. I mean, the high school stadiums out here are better than every stadium I ever played in my high school career but one. And that's because we went to the county championship, and that was the Merc, so that was an NFL stadium. The passion out here in the SEC and even the high school level, it's regional, it's cultural, it's through generations, and I love that about football. That's the thing that the other sports, maybe soccer in Europe, but the other sports just don't have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to becoming or slowly motivating myself to be a Texas Tech Raider fan with my daughter going there this year. So my goal is to hopefully get out there and see a game out there at the stadium. I was impressed as I drove across Texas, as you say, Jeff. So I was looking, I'm thinking, hey, there's a college. No, it was a high school, and It was a full-fledged stadium for their football team. And I can tell you here in Maryland, usually it's a sand lot that we play on. So it's nowhere near that. Our high school where I graduated from, I think our bleachers may hold 150 people if we're lucky. So,
wow. Really? Yeah, I went to, was it 7-man? I don't even know. So one of the really, really, really small schools out here, and their stadium was nicer than my high school stadium back in the day. And we didn't have a bad stadium. We just didn't have a great stadium, So the passion is amazing. I mean, even in our chat, this is our dream. Pittsburgh Steelers fans are the best. I don't know. Willie says Panthers fans still wear our stuff even when we're bad. Every year but one, right? Who was your quarterback that one year? Oh, man, I can't even hit. Who was the Panthers quarterback when they went?
Was it Burline?
I don't think so. Abear popped in my head, but I know it wasn't Abear. I can't remember. It's all about the Lobos. Chills with the New Mexico.
Nice reference there. AJC, there's Amy. Hey, Amy.
Where you guys fit in with the NCAA? You guys
in the house there. Hey, Shep.
Shep's in that. He keeps asking me about soccer. I don't know nothing about soccer except for they fall down every time.
Shep's asking about soccer?
Yeah, he is. Does that surprise you
I don't know nothing about soccer.
Well, he doesn't want to come on here and talk about deflated football. So I would encourage.
He doesn't.
Apparently, he's got family connections to the Patriots, which I cannot abide. But whatever.
I gotta watch.
He knows the guy that has the little thing you put in the football and the air comes out. He knows that guy.
He knows that guy. He may have been that guy. There's a distinct possibility, if we go back to the tape, that Shep may be the guy deflating the balls. As a matter of fact,
that's why Brady had to smash his phone up, because Shep's on the video, or Shep Senior, or what, I don't know, whatever it is. Pam with the Steelers Nation, Chills with Raiders. What? I'm not going to be able to read chat during this little thing.
Chills. No. Chills. Come on.
So college football, you guys fans? And if so, who?
Come again?
Well,
college football. You guys watch it as much as the NFL? Less, more, same?
I do watch a lot of college football. First game is next Saturday. That would be Florida -7 against Miami, covering by double digits in Hurricane Land is the call.
I saw Mr. Martell is going to leave again, another college.
Yeah.
Did you follow Tate at all? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Tate Martell?
I didn't follow that as much. The thing that's tough here with my area for Maryland, which we don't have, what you guys kind of have in the Midwest area, is we haven't had a really good college program in quite a while. If you look at the Maryland area, you got to kind of go down. Cavaliers played well for a while, but Maryland's always kind of been mid-row of the ACC. Then we jumped over, now to the Big Ten, and we're still middle of the pack there. You go up the road, you got Penn State. I know Dave's probably going to be watching the replay saying we are, but we haven't had that major influence. So me as a college football fan, I just watch and root for the game through these years. I root for the good matchups. I'll sit and watch the good games. I'm not necessarily following a team, but again, that may change this year with the Red Raiders having to, try to cheer for them for my daughter. But I'll tell you what, college football, when it kicks off the year, 1, and 2, bowl season is just sick. And we'll probably touch on a little bit of that too. I mean, I know, again, we're talking about an NFL watch party, but we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. I'm sure we're going to talk some good college football. And we're looking for that input from the chat and hopefully from some of our guests that we bring on that'll stimulate that talk.
I like it.
I just have 2 words to say about college football. KU. K-State. That's all I got. And so, yeah, I just never really got into college football. I just really didn't.
Is Schneider coaching? Schneider's still your coach, right?
What's that?
Is Schneider still the coach there? He's got to be, right?
He's
I have
105.
no idea. When I'm telling you, I have no idea. I really don't pay attention to any of the college stuff anymore. I just kind of
He is still there. And last year, I remember at one of the games I was watching when they were playing, they were talking about he re-opted up for like 2 more years.
Yeah,
he's up there.
I feel like that's right. And you mentioned Maryland. I used to be very into the NFL draft, like all the way back to junior high for me. And one of the first drafts, San Diego Chargers fan, especially back in the day, I really wanted us, the Chargers, to pick Boomer Esiason, who I think went in the 2nd round. So he went well past where I projected him. We did okay at quarterback then, but he would look good in San Diego Charger blue. But I'm guessing you're a Boomer fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay on Boomer. I'm not a huge, Boomer fan. I mean, again, for college football for years, I kind of followed the teams and individual players that I liked and cheered that on, because Maryland was just, horrendous. I mean, we couldn't beat Georgia Tech. We couldn't beat Virginia. We would beat stuffing out of Towson, local right around here. But, you put us against any quality team, we got stomped. So it was tough to get behind it. But Maryland still has a great turnout. You go down to the games and, that stadium, Burt Stadium sold out, and it's great to see the locals following it. But of course, I'm about 50 minutes from the stadium, from where I'm at, and where I live. So it's a little bit easier for me to get to Ravens Stadium than it is to get to down there.
So you're a season ticket holder. What about you, Kelly? How often do you go? I don't go ever. I've not been to a Cowboys game yet.
I have not been to a Chiefs game in probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I would go to the Chargers game now and then, but since I've been out here, I haven't.
I tell you what, and I'm not just being Chiefs biased here. If you ever get the opportunity to go to a Chiefs game, the atmosphere, it doesn't matter what side you're on, the atmosphere in that place is electrifying. It is just amazing.
So why are you guys known for being so loud? What is it? Is it the stadium? Is it the fans? A little of both? What's the what?
It's a little both. I think it's a little both. I think the design of the stadium is just set perfectly, that it just channels all that right down there on the field, and it's and then the Chiefs their fans are just amazing. They're just incredible. And what's crazy is, and you can't say this about everybody, but for the most part, you can sit next to a Raiders fan and drink a beer with them at the stadium, and you don't have a whole lot of fights breaking out in the parking lot or crazy stuff going on. I mean, it's a decent place to go because everybody's there to watch the game and enjoy that. And I kind of like it.
That's cool. And what are price? Diz Dream said can't afford to go to a Steelers game, too expensive, more than Disney. That is one of the things about the Cowboys. They've got standing room only seats, which I've considered doing. And friends have tickets and stuff like that. But to actually buy a seat, it's seriously prohibitive. Not anything like I knew in San Diego. I mean, they weren't cheap, but they weren't insane. I don't even know what the numbers are. But and I will say this: I enjoy football from my couch. Baseball is more conducive to the fan, in my opinion, at the park, at the stadium, which is weird because the stadium or the fans are so rabid. I like watching. First of all, I like seeing the other games too. That's part of it. I got to be honest. I want to know what else is going on in the other games, but I don't know. I think the NFL has kind of priced itself out of the average person. I don't know.
Disney Fanatic asked us an interesting question: is anyone excited for the XFL? I'm waiting to see what they're going to bring this time. The first time was not what everybody expected, so it'll be interesting to see. I know that the McMahon family has millions upon millions of dollars invested in this next opportunity. I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point as we go along with the NFL Watch Party. But as of right now, wait and see.
I hope it works. I like football. I like more football. If football's on TV, I'm happy. I'll give it a chance. I think that with the NFL making what I believe are so many marketing mistakes, I think it's a good time to be a competitor. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, it is. There's an opportunity there. There really is. There's a lot of craziness going on. So,
Mouse, we were just talking about you, buddy. Just he wants to know who's winning. I'm thinking he's talking about the Ravens.
Yeah, well, he's not talking about the Ravens. He's just asking who's winning amongst us because Mouse Talk he's actually a Rams fan, and when the Rams are on 1 week, we are definitely going to get Mouse Talk in here. And again, as we talked about earlier in the show tonight, that Mouse Talk and his partner Steve's World, who do their Saturday show, Sports Talk, on Saturday night, will be sponsoring part of our show and bringing some of the predictions that we're going to do. So we're excited to have Walt in the talk with us. And again, the Rams aren't playing right now, so Walt's not chirping right now. The Phillies beating up on Jacksonville. Jacksonville looks horrible in the preseason. Again, it's preseason. Anything can happen. The Jets are actually in a ball game right now. It's preseason. Anything can happen. But, it is a look into the crystal ball, potentially, of what some of these teams are going to have. So it'll be interesting to see what we do.
I don't know. Okay, so there's a question for you guys. Is preseason too long? And by the way, the answer is yes.
Yes.
It is.
Too long.
Here's what the Charger Cowboy fan in me hopes happens in preseason. Nothing. Don't get hurt. Zeke, sign a week before. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really think preseason is way too long. I think it is too long in baseball and especially in football.
Kelly, all yours. Go at it.
No more. No more than 3.
No more than 3.
That's no more than 3. Figure it out before that, or get it done in that many weeks and be done with it. Get on with it.
I'd be okay with all of preseason. I would. I'm not saying just go straight to practice. You need practice. But why are we watching them play vanilla against people they don't want to show anything to, so I can watch a bunch of third stringers try really hard? I mean, I don't have anything against third stringers, but I don't know. I actually think they're screwing the fan on that. I mean, if you're a season ticket holder, Pete, do they make you buy the preseason games? The answer is yes. Correct.
You have to buy the 2 preseason games.
For 10, not 8.
Yeah, 10, not 8. And the tough part to that is, again, when you go there, first off, it's you are seeing guys that generally are not going to play. You look at the guys that play in the Hall of Fame game. They actually have 5 weeks of games, and that Hall of Fame game, you generally don't see 90% of your marquee talent is not on the field. Because they're not even doing it. And it's tough. I mean, I'm watching, Jacksonville and Philly right now, and I think that the gentleman that's quarterbacking for the Jaguars will be on with us week 4 because he's not doing anything else. So we'll have him on as a guest, and he'll be live with us talking about how his preseason went, if we can get him. So
I mean, remember back when Trent Green got hurt? Now it turned into Kurt Warner. That was against the Chargers, as a matter of fact. I remember watching that game. But what a waste of an investment. I mean, it worked out in this case because Kurt Warner became a Hall of Famer. So maybe this is a bad example. But I just don't understand why they would even risk fill in the blank's name. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Real quick, RV into Disney's got to get out of here. It says, congrats on Thursday night. I am really not a football person, but I have to cheer my husband's team, the Chiefs. So forgive me at Dole Whip Dad. Everyone have a good night. RV into Disney, it's great to see you in here.
I used to love her so much.
You being in here. And then Disney Fanatic, the Cheap Chop is going. Disney Fanatic, they will never cut to a preseason 2 games to the reason Mouse Talk said that it will hurt the owners. That's what it all comes down to. The place. I have to agree with both of them there. I mean, it is about making money. They are getting that ticket money from everybody because they're making you buy it. They are still getting the concessions and everything for all the people that do come into the stadiums, even though they're not, completely full all the way through. But it's going to be tough to turn down that money. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing them go to 2 preseason, 2 additional regular season games.
I was just going to say, I've got a hot take, 18-game season.
Yeah, I could really that. I think if I remember correctly from what I read on that, the NFL Players Association was against that because of injuries and all that stuff. So
I don't want to be like Mr. I don't believe a word of that, but the NFL Players Association gets that because they want to negotiate that into their contract. They can make more money on an 18-game season and play 2 less preseason games. You can play, I would think they would play 2 preseason games and 2 regular season games, extend the season a week, including the preseason, give everybody a second bye, and now all of a sudden, I mean, now you've got an 18-game season that can actually be 20 weeks of actual NFL regular season games, that is what? That's 10% more week revenue. The NFL would like that. The players would like that. Come on, I'm not that smart and I figured that out. They can figure this out.
Absolutely. As one of the other things we're going to be doing, we talked about at the beginning, is we're going to be reviewing next week who our Rookie of the Year thoughts are for the three of us, both offense, defense, and for the MVP. And just to throw them out there real quick for everybody watching the replay and here live to think about for next week. Right now, according to most of the respected sites out there, the top 5 candidates for Defensive Rookie of the Year are Devin White with Tampa Bay, Ed Oliver, tackle with the Bills. Bosa was, he got hurt. He's going to be out I think most of the preseason, so he was number 3. Quentin Williams, the defensive tackle for the Jets, who is a beast. I've watched him a little bit, and Devin Bush, who I was really disappointed went to the Steelers because I wanted the Ravens to grab him. They're the top 5 as far as defensive goes. So that'll be something for everybody to think about and chew upon for next week when we come through with ours. Offensive, it's pretty straightforward. Top 5. Kyler Murray, it's going to be interesting. I think the Cardinals may be better than people think just because of him. Josh Jacobs, the running back with Oakland, Josh Jacobs, is picked to be a really star stud. Hey, look at that. The Redskins gave up a touchdown. That's odd. Josh Jacobs, running back for Oakland, is number 2. David Montgomery, the running back for the Bears, is another good one out there. He's number 3. My hometown guy, Hollywood Brown, is number 4, who I really think it'll be interesting to see what he does for the Ravens. And then A.J. Brown, wide receiver for Tennessee, is the number 5. Of course,
where's the one from? Who's that? Hollywood? Who's that?
Hollywood Marquise Brown was from Oklahoma, and he is on the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. The receiver?
Your receiver. And I'll tell you what, so he's been nicked up a little. He hasn't played in a game yet, so I'm still waiting to see him in an NFL offense. But I was watching the warm-up session for the Ravens on local channel here, and he was out on the field just running some wind sprints and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, that kid is fast. So I can't wait to see if his warm-up speed is the same as game speed. We all know that's a different thing. It can be quicker, less. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So we'll be reviewing those. And then, of course, the big one that, I'm sure Kelly loves to talk about that we'll be looking at is who will be the potential MVPs for the 2019 season. And, of course, the list for the top 5 goes Patrick Mahomes, Phillip Rivers. Okay. The Raiders, did they just score a touchdown? They did. Touchdown Raiders.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Kyle Murray, preseason, weeks 1 and 2, he is a combined 9 for 15 passer rating. Week 1, 92.9%. Week 2, 45.8. He's struggling against the Raiders.
Walt dropped a comment I want to get your guys' take on because Walt, I totally agree with you. I don't see it. Kyler Murray. I think I'm taller than him. I know he's better athlete than me, but he's not true. Everybody, the argument seemed to be, okay, Drew Brees did it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's like saying Babe Ruth did it. Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And just so you can pick one guy who is that height ever, can you pick a second? I don't get it. I really don't. I think he's in a really good spot in Arizona. I think he's blessed to have that offensive mind as head coach. But I'm not saying he's Jamarcus Russell, but I think he should sign. I think he should have stayed with baseball. You guys, Pete, you seem to be a fan. Kelly, what do you guys think?
I'm going to throw it to Kelly first. I want to hear what Kelly has to say about this one.
Stay with baseball. I mean, really, that's where
I was shocked that he went 1. What am I missing?
I don't know.
Okay, so I think his longevity would have been better in baseball. I 100% agree there. What I saw from watching I watched the Arizona game the other night just because football was back and I wanted to watch something at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday or a Friday, whatever it was. And what I saw from him that impressed me was moving with the ball, looking downfield, making actions happen. His feet were his last thought. He got out of bounds quicker than I thought he would for a rookie quarterback because a lot of those guys try to extend the play. Yep. So he kind of had an understanding for that. I liked the way he was trying to work the offense within the offense. He wasn't trying to do too much and play out of his comfort zone. So do I think that he's going to be the rookie of the year, honestly, you have to wait till next week and find out what my prediction will be. But I think he's going to make Arizona better than what they were with Rosen.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that offense and that style of play was. I like Rosen. I think
Fanatic just said it. Josh Rosen will be a better quarterback by far than Kyler Murray. Disney Fanatic, what you said. I think so too.
I think he's going to do better in Miami. I think he's going to take that spot in Miami from Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has never impressed me overall. Didn't impress me when he was Buffalo. Didn't impress me.
Really? Ooh, we might disagree. I don't get so.
You like him because he has a beard.
I do actually, but other than that, he has been in the NFL and successful. Kyler Murray has not. I don't get it. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick was putting up numbers through the roof. Now I get it. They were behind. They were throwing. I get all that, but he's got a proven track record. I don't know why every team in the NFL didn't want Fitzpatrick at least as the backup. And I do think you need two quarterbacks.
A backup. I 100%. I would love to have him as a backup right now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
As our backup.
The Cowboys or the Chargers backup is okay. I know the Chargers, but I have no idea right now. I guess I can figure it out. My point is, if Dak gets hurt, you don't have a chance. If Rivers gets hurt, you don't have a chance. If Fitzpatrick's there, you've got more than a chance. He might win the spot from your guy. And I believe in competition big time. And back to the 5'11" thing, like I'll just ask, can you name a quarterback not named Drew Brees with that height that's been even average for more than 2 years? Like somebody put in Doug Flutie. I'm a big Doug Flutie fan. Doug Flutie was not a good NFL quarterback. He was a good story.
He had one big play that made his name is what he did.
Brother, I think. Yeah. He was backup in San Diego. He was fun. Whatever. No.
Our backup is McSorley out of Penn State last year. So if our quarterback goes down, we're going to be run by a rookie. So it'll be really interesting to see. Although I do like the kid, and I think it was a great selection.
Probably older than starter though. I mean, Lamar Jackson's what? 14. So
they're about the same age, I think. They're pretty close. So it'll be interesting to see.
Miguel says Russell Wilson, and that's a good point. But
that is a great call.
Ever. Like, are we saying he might be Drew Brees or Russell Wilson? Wilson's a good point, though. I love Russell Wilson. I forgot about it.
So I'm going to tie Disney and Russell Wilson together.
Okay? Ooh, I'm listening now.
This is a great story. Okay, it's a twofold story. So bear with me for a second. One of my son's best friends, Preston's best friends, Jake, was born with his bladder outside of his body. So he's gone through about 30 different surgeries trying to get himself, and now he's healthy. God bless. But Russell Wilson heard about it through a friend of a friend type thing. Russell Wilson got his dad's phone number, got on FaceTime, and called them in the hospital and FaceTime Jake and just said, "Hey, I'm a fan of yours. You can get through this." Didn't have to. Didn't know from. That's just Russell Wilson being a great human being. So that goes to Disney. Last year, after it's January, is that the Pro Bowl? I'm over on Slinky Dog, standing in the Fast Pass line, talking to my kid. I literally look to my left, and it's Russell Wilson.
Wow. Russell
Wilson with his wife and his kids. And I looked at him, and I said, "Hey, RW, big fan, right?" I asked him if I could get a picture. He respectfully said, "Hey, I appreciate not, because if I do that, I'm just going to get mobbed, and I just want to be with my family." And I respected him. But I got to ride on Slinky Dog with Russell Wilson right behind me, and
it was so fun. I love that story.
It was awesome. So that's a great time to be in Disney when the Pro Bowl is going on.
I bet it is.
They're all over the place.
And I appreciate you not being mad at him about that too, because it is Disney. Come on, you're with your kid. Like, you can't not be Russell Wilson for the day. So you can't go hide and put on a wig. So I've known a lot of people. I've done a lot of events, whatever. Fans decide to hate somebody because they didn't get what they wanted. And so that says a lot about you, Pete, that you're not mad at him. And hey, Sherry, awesome Sunset Travels, what's going on? I love Russell Wilson because of stories like that. I didn't know that story, of course, but I've heard some really neat, he's just a good human stories about that guy. I don't like him when he plays my teams, but I love Pete Carroll too. So I don't like the Seahawks, but I do like Pete Carroll a lot.
Yeah, it's good, man. With that, for me, I think, Jeff, that comes from the fact my brother had some time with ECW as a pro wrestler and doing a lot of the independent scene, and he's gone up and done different things with WWE. And we've gotten to know a lot of WWE superstars through the years. And when you're out with people like that who are recognized, you start to appreciate the fact that, hey, they want to have their personal time too. They can't always be on 24/7. So you learn to respect that a little bit.
Yeah, I wish fans would give athletes and famous people a little bit of a break there. So anyway.
Now, I'll be honest, when I'm down for the Beverly Challenge, if one of the Dis and Dat crew doesn't sign my autograph book, there's going to be hell to pay.
So
whole other ball game right there.
I told my wife a couple of weeks ago, so we've got an outlet not too far away, and we picked up two.
Casey Rogers, hello. Sorry.
Hey, how are you? Two of the 60th anniversary autograph books, like you get with the kid, and so I'm going to take two for my favorite YouTubers, and it was Walt's idea. Well, I mean, that was the first I heard of it, at least. Mouse Talk. Walt said he was going to do that, so I'm going to do that. And in the last couple of weeks, like 4 or 5 people have said it. And I'm like, okay, good, because I don't want to go up to like, hi Corey, you don't know me, but we autographed my book, and have him look like. Hopefully, I won't be the only one. But actually,
no, I'm going to tell you, we broke ground on that back in May. We went around and had Dev and Corey sign an autograph book, and the whole 9 yards. And it was funny because they were looking at us and you're serious? And they're like, yeah, we're serious. And
so I've got some autographs. I've got some Breaking Bad autographs. I like collecting autographs. It's hard now because there's so many fakes and all that. But when I was a kid, I collected them. But if I could get any autograph right now, after Jenny McCarthy, it would probably be my favorite YouTubers. So,
Nice.
Yeah, right? Okay, so quick funny story. So when we got down there, we actually met Dev and Corey about the same time. We actually all bumped into each other all at the same time. And my wife, Mama Mouse, asked Dev, can we get your autograph? And he was like, oh, sure, not a problem. And she goes, I really feel bad asking, but I really would like it. And he goes, no, it happens all the time. And Corey's standing there and he goes, this is only the second time I've ever been asked. And we started giggling. And Corey's
awesome.
He was with Steph. They were absolutely wonderful. And we just
I love them.
It was a good time, but it was a funny story. So
that is so you know what? Who was the first? Because that's cool. I want to be the first person. This is really nerdy, this kind of work stuff. You guys know who Jim Collins is? He wrote the book Good to Great and a couple other books.
Good to Great. Great book. Excellent book.
Okay. Well, I got to meet him, and I'm a baseball nut, and I had him autograph a baseball. And he said, this is the first baseball I've ever autographed. And so I said,
I'm stealing it. I'm taking a baseball down, Kelly. You can't do it.
Well, I don't sign anymore so I can always say I have the only one. He said, I can't imagine anyone will want one. So yeah, I've got a Jim Collins autographed baseball that at the time was the only one in the world, and I do have one Walt Disney ball that I'll be bringing down. But I thought about having guys do that, but it's like colored on one side. I could probably get like 6 on there, so it's not as cool if you.
I'm getting an MLB ball and I'm bringing it because that's a great idea. That'll go right there. That'll go right there.
There you go.
I've got like 30 balls. So I used to go to spring training every year with buddies. I don't anymore because now I don't live in San Diego. But I got like 30 in that closet. I don't know. I can't point right there. I probably should.
Nice. It's a great idea. I love it. It's a great idea. I'm stealing it. The interesting thing is when you talk about that and how we, the Disney connection is how we all met. Which again, to me that's a big win for me to meet people like yourselves and the other people in the community that we've met. But the bigger thing is watching some of those people in action. I've been down and one of the reasons I fell in love with this was watching Dev, Corey, Josh, and Jenna, to name 3 that I was with, actually physically walking around and see them stopped for those who are not as fortunate in life as we are. Those with disabilities, those who may not have an education as strong as others, those who may not be fiscally as well off as others. They treated every person as if they were their best friend, taking time to do it. And that's what made me fall in love with this community, is people like those guys. And then you come back and see like the Dis and Dat crew and Kelly, what you guys are all working together to do with Give Kids. Give it to me again, Kelly.
The world.
Give Kids the World. What an amazing charity. And the 3 of us obviously haven't chatted, but I know the NFL Watch Party will be trying to support that. I'm definitely 100% behind it. I know Jeff is the way he is. I'm watching too much football here because I'm watching Joel do the Jets game here. I'm thinking Joel watching Jeff because the Jets are actually in a game in the 4th quarter, so I'm not sure what to make of it.
Must be preseason.
It's preseason, but God bless, So things like that make me want to be involved with this community and do what we're doing and extend out. So it's a great thing.
I don't know if you guys know, I don't hide it by any means, but I don't say it all the time. I run a nonprofit, and when I heard the This and That crew is doing that, I already love those guys, but now I want to help, and they don't need any help; they've got it. But
That's right. Stacy Rogers reminded me just now in chat that Josh and Jenna are also doing that, working with the Give Kids the World, which is good. And that's just the nature of the people that we're dealing with. Nobody here is really trying to do it to benefit themselves. Nobody's doing it because they're trying to get subscribers. We're just doing it because they're good people,
But it is a virtuous circle, though. Like I will say this, I get a little crazy when people say, "Oh, it's not about." If I grow, if you grow, if Kelly grows, if Dev grows, if Mouse Talk grows, if all our friends grow, we're spreading some awesomeness. Like it's not like
absolutely. Well, I just want to get to 100. I just want to get to 100 so Kelly doesn't steal my name. Because apparently, if you don't have 100, last night Steve told me if you don't have 100 subscribers, they can take away your name. It's the only name I got.
I'm going to send a lawyer to your house and tell you that you have to change your name. I'm going to take it. That's all there is.
Right now and try to get to Pete McDevitt 100 before he does. You're probably like 60 now. I'm sure you'll be there. You'll be there before NFL Week 1. I'll tell you that. But my point is, I'm going to get real nerdy here. I love goals. I love achievement. I love winning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think I'm not trying to beat down somebody else. I mean, maybe the Chiefs, for those 2 weeks, but winning is something that we should spread and help other people win and achieve. And, I'm passionate about that stuff. I'm not one of those people who's going to pretend like I love it when more people subscribe. I love it when my friends get goals and crush goals and I celebrate my goals. I think our how do I say this? Our culture right now is afraid to celebrate winning. And I think we need to stop that because winning is the most contagious thing there is. And I don't know. I like winning. I like winning a lot.
I'm going to add on top of what you're saying. I mean, because Jeff, you're right. And what's cool about this community, and I think that's what draws most of us to this community, is if I grow, I can reach out and touch more people with positivity. Exactly. If I grow, that's more people that I could touch their lives in one way or another. I'm not a big channel by any means.
Yeah.
First time we ever live streamed was it's basically sitting in Disney trying to push buttons and going, is this thing on? Hello? We didn't know what we were doing. And we were getting started. And literally that first week that we were doing that, this little girl's mom and dad are telling us that being on your stream made our daughter's trip. I'm like, you're at Disney.
That's awesome.
We made your daughter's trip. Right? That was just a great reality check. That was, God touching me on the shoulder going, hey, remember what you're doing this for. Keep in mind that you're touching people's lives no matter what you do. And that's what I love about this community is so many people are in this to touch other people's lives. And it's exciting. It's contagious. It's contagious to watch, the This and That crew get so much going on and get that momentum going. And you get excited for them. And those are the things, that's what this is about. So that's what I love about it. That's, you guys called me and said, hey, would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So
I jumped in, Kelly, because Jeff promised me that we would bring on Rob Fuzz at some point and have him live. And, Rob Fuzz is, if you listen to his voice, it's like if Harry Connick Jr. and like Ron Burgundy had a baby, that's Rob Fuzz's voice. So I'm looking forward to Rob Fuzz and the smooth sounds of Rob Fuzz.
It's funny. He said, I saw him, it wasn't on any of my stream, but I was watching something where somebody said that to him. And he said, oh, I don't even like my voice. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's going.
I guess people don't like their own voice. I guess that's a thing, but he does have a good one. I'm mad at him right now. Rob, are you listening? We're going to do a Stranger Things. Yeah, see, I'm looking for his response. I'm waiting. Rob loves Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. Rob has a Stranger Things connection. Are you guys aware of that?
No, I'm not.
No.
Do you guys watch Stranger Things?
I have not, but I've heard a lot of things about it.
Kelly?
I'm married to Mama Mouse. I live with Stranger Things.
Well, I love that show. And Rob, I don't want to say this wrong. Are you here, Rob? I'm pretty sure he manages Galen. Hey, how are you, buddy?
Good. How about you?
Good to see
They
you.
can't hear you, bud.
What's up?
No, they can't hear you. The microphone doesn't work. I haven't used it the whole time.
I heard.
Goodbye.
I think I heard
He can hear it. I'm just messing with him.
Anyway,
I'm messing with him. Okay, yeah.
Rob manages Galen. Oh my gosh, what's his name? One of the kiddos' band, and he has a connection. So I got a new podcast, whatever. And one of my first podcasts was about Stranger Things, and I asked him because he loves music. He's got a Bon Jovi connection. He loves music, and I wanted to do a show about the music of Stranger Things because I'm an '80s guy. I love me some '80s music. I would just listen to that soundtrack. I love the music they played so much. So I wanted to do a show with him. And he said yes, but he hadn't even finished the show yet. So he just actually messaged me, I think yesterday, hey, I'm finally done. Do you want to do it? But his schedule, we haven't meshed our schedules, but Rob's a great guy. Can't wait to get him on. And
He's a good man.
that goes to what we just said. There's so many people that whether I get to meet them in a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever the time is or not, my life, I had a good life. I still have a good life, but my life is better because of you guys and people in chat and so many people in this community. To get back to what you guys were saying, I don't know. The world talks about how negative things have been the last couple of years. For me, because of this community the last couple of years, I see a lot more positivity in my life. And I don't know how we got on this topic, but I'm a happy guy, and it's because of this community, among other things.
Yeah, among other things. I mean, it's great to what it brings. Football season's here. Baseball playoffs are coming up. There's a lot of hockey fans out there. Hockey season will be starting up soon. Disney's got so much going on for all the Disney community. It's a massive community for those who follow. So much going on in the next 2 to 3 years in that community alone. And just the world has changed a lot. It's better. It's going in the right direction. We hope it continues that way.
I'm happy.
There's just our yelling hockey.
My wife,
that's great.
She told me that tonight. She said, "I'm so glad that you're finding more friends. You work all the time and you work so hard. Even though they're kindergarten friends, I'm so happy you found somebody to talk to."
So we should tell everybody about that is because both Dole Whip Dad and Myers and the Mouse have been included in this. As I've sat over the last year and watched the Dis and Dat crew grow and been on after show chats and of course been involved in the chat and laughing out loud at certain things. My wife, who as everybody knows from earlier in the stream, she works early. She'll be in the bedroom asleep and I'll be making a little too much noise and don't think about it. And she'll come out of the bedroom and politely tell me, hey, you and your kindergarten buddies need to pipe it down so I can sleep. So that's how she named them. It started with the Dis and Dat crew and Kelly, and it grew. Jeff now got into there. Actually, Magical Meg somehow ended up in there one night with everything. When we were driving my daughter to Texas, I was actually listening to one of the live streams with all those guys as we were driving down that desolate road where all those wind tower things are, Jeff, between between Dallas and
me.
Yeah, wherever we were. It's in the middle of dark and wind towers. And my wife said, yelled at me twice for, good, my God, we're going to drive off the side of the road, turn that off. So kindergarten buddies, you're part of the group, and that's a great place to be. So
welcome to the club, Jeff. It's a good club.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine a club I'd rather be in. The positivity of it. I mean, Texas Stakes just said something really nice, and it really is perspective. Like if you have a positive attitude, you hang around with positive, happy people, life is better. If you want to, Jack, there's plenty of that are negative and whiny and cryy. There's plenty of workplaces. There's plenty of, churches. There's plenty of places if you want, I feel bad. You can find that. But I like happy. I choose happy. So whatever. And this makes me happy. I can't believe I get to do this. I can't believe we've already gone over an hour. Have you realized we're over an hour?
Oh, yeah, it's going through.
It's funny you talk about how loud. I married. My wife is pretty dang awesome, and one of the things that's super awesome is I couldn't wake her up if I dropped a brick on her head. I mean, she sleeps through everything, so I could.
Oh God!
And she'll wake up in the middle of the night and say, "You woke me up." I'm like, "No, I've been doing this for the last 12 hours here. You've been sleeping through it all. You just woke up right now. So I'm good with that. I mean, well, a whole other thing, but so next week,
Shep is back in the house. Just so we know it.
What?
So everybody knows, Shep is back in the house.
Hey, Shep.
And he did just text me. He is on the Patriots 63-man roster at this point. Just letting everybody know.
Well, good, because
Take it for what it is.
16, so that would be good.
I didn't know they had to put the ball deflator on the roster.
I mean,
Well,
you gotta hide
he is
him.
on the roster. You gotta hide him somewhere. That's great. I'm gonna need to get a yellow flag so we can show it.
He's the guy that comes out of the locker room with his helmet on, never takes it off, goes into the locker room with his helmet on. You never see quite who he is.
Did you ever see the Simpsons commercial where Homer Simpson was on the football team and he was just running through people? You got to Google it. It reminds me of just that, what you just said. I can see Shep, just running over people. I love it.
You know what? Just talking to you guys tonight, I've had so many things. Shep says I am the kicker. So many people list of stuff to ask you guys, and the streams are going to be long, so that's going to be fun. But let's get to that. So next week, Kelly's channel, right?
Kelly's channel, week 1, we will have our forecast or our predictions, as you would call, for each division, for the playoffs, for our Super Bowl predictions, which may make some people in this chat happy and some not so happy, and me as a bystander. So then we will also, right there. So Kelly, hold on.
He'll be unhappy. He's
I
gonna
want to do the
He's gonna have a good season, but he's gonna lose still. So
Kelly, at least give me the just that high five. There we go. There we go. High five.
right.
So we're gonna have the predictions. So we're gonna have also our predictions for Rookie of the Year, both defense and offense. We are going to talk about the prediction for MVP and how that rolls out next week. We will talk a little bit of college because there is 2 big college games on Saturday, so we'll touch base on that a little bit, and then we will have 2 segments. We will have our hopefully our NFL watch party league, fantasy league up and running. Dave with Brandy and Dave is setting that up for us. You'll be able to take on and challenge us and some of the other good creators that are out there that are football fans that'll be jumping in that, and that'll be inexpensive, more fun for bragging rights. We'll talk a little bit more about the survivor pool that we have going that I'm running, which is 245 people strong right now, which is amazing. Kelly, when you getting in, just saying that under my breath. And then we'll finish up with talking about some of the odds predictions. We will have a favorite or a lock of the week and a upset of the week. And those 2 segments will be brought to you by Sports Talk on Saturday night with Steve and Walt, and the Dispatch Crew on Wednesday night, sponsoring or supporting us as we go out there, which is going to be great.
Did you guys see how Downscale made a mistake? Obviously, his keyboard is broken.
What did Downscale do? I love me some Downscale.
It looks like a chicken. I can't see. Is that a chicken?
I like that so much. I wish I said that. I like the Eagles head coach also very much, but
is that what that is? The Eagles?
Well,
I think they're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't think they're taking the Super Bowl.
What do you?
Just saying.
What, you think they're going to be a wild card because they ain't winning the NFC East?
Well, you're going to have to tune in next week to find out what Kelly thinks now, won't you?
Absolutely. You're going to have to come back next week to figure it out. Downscale, you should DM me after this. I want to talk to you about something, so private message me about something I'm talking about.
I can tell you the Eagles aren't – no. I'll just respond no to the Eagles in general.
Hold on. Now, I got to actually – now, see, Downscale's got me all riled up. So week 1, obviously, they're opening up in division, which will be tough for them. And are they at home? They are at home against the Redskins. It's a divisional. Redskins always play them tough. They'll beat the Redskins because, I think
on games Wentz actually finishes.
That'd be interesting. I got to look now just to see.
I honestly think this is going to be a very. I mean, there's some things that I think we all know are going to happen, and then there's some things that are going to be surprising this year. I just have a feeling. Texas takes. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's amazing. See,
that's awesome. Texas takes.
People would support us that way. It makes my heart feel good. Texas takes. Thank you. And Texas, you're a baby.
Very generous.
Thank you very much. It means a lot. I appreciate it so much.
I'm just happy if people help me get to 100 so I can keep my name.
And there
I'm
you
on
go.
my
Great
name
idea.
right now.
So
Steve,
Somebody, please
Listen.
subscribe to him so he doesn't have a coronary before we get to week 1. Please
I'm
get
telling
to
you.
100 subscribers.
I'm already having this vision of walking into Galaxy's Edge and seeing Zip and hearing, "Hey, buddy, I took your name." I've already expected it to happen, so I want to get to 100 so that Zip doesn't take my name.
Bag of Donuts will be now known as Pete McDevitt.
Yes, that's a good possibility. That's great. That's fantastic.
Well, I mean, so I don't know what they've told you. When you get to 100, you can change it from, 3YPDUS, whatever, to whatever you want. The Ravens are horrible.
hey.
I'm just saying you could pick it if you wanted to. I'm not saying that you should.
Just an example. Come on now, easy.
Preston, go get your mother. I'm going to let her deal with Jeff.
So, I mean, what's your name gonna? Maybe you shouldn't say it, so somebody doesn't steal it.
I'm happy just having that. But Steve had me all fired up last night when he was like, "Yeah, if you're under 100, you could lose your name." I'm like, "Hey, I was given that at birth, for crying out loud."
Well, I mean, there's probably another Pete McDevitt. I mean, you're not Jim Smith, but you're not.
That's true. But it's this whole venture's all new to me, and I'm learning as I go. I'm sure I'm going to make a mess of something and screw it up at somewhere where Kelly's going to call me offline and be like, "What are you doing?" But I'm looking forward to it.
I remember watching you on a stream. I don't know who it was with. It was somebody else's stream, and you had like the whole team over, and kids were running by, and you're like, "Sit down, Jimmy!" And it was cracking me up.
Okay, so that was I was on with Shep. That was the first ever time I went live. I was talking to Ryan, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go live?" And I'm like, "Dude, hey, you know what? That sounds fun. I'd love to do it." And it was the same night I had my son's 11-year-old travel baseball team over. And what was going on at that point was I have a very large, very expensive, old baseball collection. And one of the nights I'll pull it out. Like one of my favorites is it's a 67 mantle. It's in mint condition.
Ooh, I had to say it now. I didn't have.
I don't care what year it is. It's still Mickey Mantle, to me, one of the greatest players to ever walk this earth.
Yeah.
And I look over and they've got all my cards out going all over the place. So yeah, I'm like yelling.
I would have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll never forget it. You're like, "Oh man, these kids are so respectful. They'll talk. Sit down right now." I'm like, "Wow, I like this guy." It reminded me of you guys watch Breaking Bad? It reminded me of Hank.
You got to have a little charisma, a little fun with all that. So
That's
Disney Fanatic says, does your wife approve of these guys on the stream, unlike your 5-year-old friends in the other channel? Well, Disney Fanatic, we did just talk about that, and she does call them my 5-year-old friends. It is Kelly and the Disney crew, but she has extended that now it is the kindergarten bunch. Okay, the kindergarten bunch, and that includes Dole Whip Dad.
I need to be on. As a dude who's about to turn 50, please call me a kindergarten kid.
You are part of the kindergarten kids. Magical Meg, Cargo, Donna Jaworski, the Arjons, all of my friends that I've made with this great community as we've gone out. My wife has seen me hang out with people and have some fun. Whenever she's trying to sleep, they are the kindergarten crew. And there's downscale.
This 3 thing, I've got to get used to it. Hashtag kindergarten crew. Yeah, I've been in worse groups than that. That makes me happy. Pete, your birthday's coming up, like a week and a day. What did you just say?
That would be the 23rd, next Friday. And I originally was gonna go to Disney with Prestone, as Dave calls him, and hang with my son because my wife is going with my other daughter down back to Texas Tech for a trip. So that was going to be my 50th birthday, and then Disney decided to do a little thing called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And then it exploded into the opportunity for the challenge, and then it elaborated into all of my, I call them associates at first that I had met through these challenges. I had met. Hey, Kate, thank you for the happy birthday wishes here. We're starting to go down there. When I heard that, you were going to be down there, Kelly was going to be down there. But realistically, I got to be honest. It was one person who kept calling me and saying, "Hey, you need to come. You need to come. You need to come. I want to spend your 50th birthday with you." And that's the person who I started in this community with, and that's Prince Charming Dev.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Dev and I were talking back and forth. You got to come. You got to come. And I'm actually looking forward to it because he is confirmed for going to the Halloween party, Kelly, just so you know. That he is locked in for that. He's called me the other day and said, "Hey, I bought my ticket." So I'm looking forward to hanging with my friend. And again, he was the fun one that first introduced me to all of this. And I can't wait to be down there and just see everybody, say hello, introduce myself to those people I don't know. And I'm really looking forward to this. As much as I joke around, okay, I do like to joke and have a good time because life's too short. I believe you win the race when you put a smile on someone's face. That's the way I live my life.
Ooh, I like that.
That's my montage. So I am really looking forward to seeing all of this through my son's eyes, seeing him meet all these YouTubers that he enjoys watching. I'm a little frustrated the fact that I talked about having a baseball to sign or a book to sign. I was talking to my Preston about I could have something to sign. He's more worried about getting Steve's autograph. That's all. Yeah, he cannot. What? Yeah, for his plastic belt. Yeah, he wants to get his autograph with a picture of Steve with his plastic belt. But he absolutely loves some of these people in the community. He got to talk to Kelly the other night, and he's really excited to meet all that and see these people. So I'm excited to see this Disney experience of Galaxy's Edge opening through his eyes and see what it brings and spend a little quality time with my son that's not on the baseball field or sitting at the table, something different. So that's what I'm excited about.
I love that. Pete, I need you to type in chat because you're like 3 people have said, "Hey, I need to subscribe," and I can't pull you up, and I don't know why.
I don't know why. I just did it. I'm not a mod. That's why.
Yep, I'll send it.
There he is. All right.
That's what I was doing, is pulling it up right now. So
I don't know why I did it. All right, hold on. Add mod. There's another thing about YouTube I don't get. I don't know why anyone want to be a mod, but if you do, thank you so much. Hey, they're speaking of my favorite mods in the world. Pirate Princess Red. Hey, Jeff, Kelly, and Pete. Congratulations.
Pirate Princess Red. Hello.
Best moderator out there. So when people say, "Oh, come on, I'm not a mod," I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get you to be a mod." Like I don't know.
Princess Red. Good to see you.
I really think that the mod thing, I looked at it with downscale. I couldn't call you up with @ symbol autofill until now. Okay, got you, downscale. Get with me later because I want to touch base with you. The thing about being a mod, and Kelly and I kind of talked about this a little bit the other night when we were doing a little one-on-one stuff, is for a lot of people, it is like it's the opportunity to be respected and brought into the inner circle of someone's life because these channels that everybody's doing, a lot of people, this is their brand, this is what they're putting out there. Some people, this is they're making it their life or their career, and hey, hats off to them if that's what you want to do. But you're bringing people in to protect your brand, that's kind of the way you do it.
I don't think I said that very well. That's so well said. Like when the lunatics come in and do whatever they do, they see it before I do. They manage it. Like some of it gets done. Like people send me a message that, "Hey, make sure you let whoever know that they handled this." I love that they're willing, and it's funny that we're talking about this when Pirate Princess Red comes in. I've had some streams that got crazy out of hand, and she and some other people in this chat, but her right there saved me. I work with kids, and so there is a decent chance, especially on some of my big streams, that some kiddo is in my chat, and I am.
It's amazing, Jeff, because there are certain ones that are. I look at them as elite, and I say elite not because I like them more than others or anything, but they are giving their time all the time to somebody else. Kelly was like that. One of the reasons I actually found Kelly initially and Mama Mouse was that they were supporting our Resort TV 1 with Josh and Jenna and doing a great job, and that's how I noticed them at first. But there's people out there like Private Princess Red, like Cargo, like Donna Jaworski that are just out there. Steve's world. I know Steve does a lot. And he's constantly on doing live stuff. Steve is amazing, and he's good at what he does. And they just want to help other people grow their brand. That's why I put out a tweet. That was about 2 months ago. I know, Kelly, you and I talked about this at one point. I put out a tweet saying the people that are here, they're creators. Okay, they are the influencers of what we do. Okay, me, I am just an enhancer. That's the way I look at myself. It's kind of like, if this beeping, does that mean it's dying, Preston? Sorry, I'm getting beeping in my ear. I'm gonna have to change over to a different mic here so that I can hear, or go off the mic in just a minute. Hold on one sec. Let me flip out. Take those off. I'm gonna have to go to.
while you're switching out, I will say this about mods, and this is something that was new to me. When I became a mod for Dev or for Resort TV one of the things that was amazing to me was when you do get in that inner circle, when you do see things from another angle, man, it's crazy sometimes. And what you find yourself doing is you're not watching the stream.
That's what I'm saying. That's right.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, you're spending all your time looking through all these, and
especially like Resort TV One, when it was
yeah,
with all those people in there.
yeah, so you end up having to go back and watch the stream to watch the stream, because when people are entrusting you with for some of these people, this is their baby.
Mm-hmm.
You are entrusted with their reputation and their brand and their live stream.
Yeah.
People that are doing that got to take it seriously. And
that's what I mean. Like, I'm amazed that they're like, I when I'm on Resort TV One stream or whoever, I'm enjoying myself. I'm interacting with people and I'm looking at what they're looking at and I'm having a good time. The fact that some people would want to take an even more responsible position and help me out blows me away. I mean, it's a blessing.
It is a blessing. But, you know, the feeling part of the community, that's the one thing I found when, you know, my first three that offered me to be a mod for them was it was Dev, then it was Resort TV One, and then it was actually it was Dev, then it was Josh and Taylor with WW Couple, and then Resort TV One, and three great channels with tens of thousands of viewers on it, where they're entrusting you to take care of what they got. And you know, I got to sit down and break bread with Josh and Taylor, and Dev and I have spent, you know, we've sat down at tables together and done the same. And you know, I've hung out with Josh and Jenna on several occasions, and salt of the earth people, and it's people you want to help. So,
and oh my gosh,
Stone,
you're the best, buddy. And by the way, I'm on your side. I'm rooting for
awesome.
That belt too. So, thank you, buddy, so much. It's amazing.
So I'm gonna share something that I bet you Jeff doesn't understand or realize. Yeah, Jeff's like, oh God, what's he gonna say now?
Yeah, pretty much.
the Jets are winning. I'm gonna tell you that.
So
I'm not actually a Chiefs fan. You're really a Chargers fan.
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Anybody in the year.
We'll come up with something better than that. No, but we're on this subject. And I will tell you, before I went to Disney, before I started streaming from Disney and all that, I was looking at different channels, and I bumped into this one channel where this guy was on there and he was talking and he was ranting and raving about his Chargers, blah, 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 blah. And I got to know this guy, and this guy was my first subscriber. This person was the first person to make me a mod. This person was the first person to encourage me to just do it. And yeah, he's a long way. Yeah.
That way.
Really?
So whether you realize that, Jeff, or not,
I was your first subscriber.
yes, you were.
Wow.
Yeah. See, you wanted to be the first to something. There you go.
That's cool.
You were my first subscriber. You were the first person to make us a mod, and you were also the first person to just say, just do it. Just do it. So I remember we sent you a message and we're like, hey, we're thinking about it. You're like, just do it.
That sounds like me. Downscale. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Downscale. Very generous.
I ain't reading that, Downscale. I ain't reading that. Yeah, I will.
Philadelphia Eagles never lose a single game. No, they'll lose every game.
So this is where I go downscale. What planet are you on?
Ah!
Downscale. Oh, never mind.
I hate to say it, but I think, and you'll have to tune in next week, Downscale, to find out for sure, but I think I picked the Eagles to win that division.
Oh, what?
I think I'm not saying, I would never say that I would pick that either, but that may happen.
Well, I feel like I'm going to have a better chance at winning whatever contest the prediction game will be, because no. But anyway, Kelly, thank you. That you know what, that does mean a lot to me. Like, I'm giggling around, but I love talking people into believing that they're freaking awesome, because they are. And even people who, like, I don't know why people wouldn't take a shot or take a swing. Like, so, okay, I was back in the day, high school sports, right?
Here we go.
My worst sport of the sports I played was basketball. I was like the 7th guy, the 8th guy, enough to play, not enough to start. And I'm talking about freshmen, so not even varsity. But at the end of the year when they gave out the awards, coach was talking about, I don't know, the dude who wasn't afraid to take a shot. Yeah, you give me the ball, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to shoot it, or I'm going to make a pass where I think you're going to shoot it. And I'm not trying to talk sports here. I'm trying to talk about.
Well, that's an incredible catch.
Believe that people can do whatever the heck they want. And anyway, you make my day by saying that. So thank you for saying that. That makes my day, because that, Sean Cannell is one of the people. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but if you want to talk about growing your YouTube channel, Sean Cannell is one of the guys that I listen to every dang day. His Twitter, his Instagram, his videos. He's based out of Vegas. He's a good guy. And, he talks about, there's nothing wrong with trying to make money at YouTube. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're trying to grow your influence so you can help people have a better, happier life, great things happen. I mean, it comes down to that whole Zig Ziglar thing. If you help enough people have success, you're going to have all the success in the world. Like if I'm trying to help you two grow your channel through this channel and this show, I'm trying to have a great time with people I like. But if that was my goal, here's one thing that would happen for sure. I would grow. I mean, this is just about fun. And it's that whole virtuous circle thing. Like the world thinks that the pie, I want to get a bigger piece because then I want all my pie. That's not how it works, man. You serve enough pie and then the pie grows. I don't understand why people don't understand that. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for saying that. That's my favorite thing of the night. And I'm already having a lot of fun tonight. That's
awesome. That's a great story. And that's kind of where, you try to figure things. The Redskins just threw a bomb, bounced off a Bengals defensive guy who will be bagging groceries next week. And what a great catch. I can't wait till this actually starts where we're watching a lot of games and we can react to like that hit that quarterback just took. For those of you that are watching right now, I am watching the highlights on the NFL channel. So if you're tuned into the NFL Network, you'll be watching the same highlights that I am watching, where Philadelphia is just all over Jacksonville downscale.
I'm glad you said something, because there's people at home right now going, I can't find it. I can't find it.
Well, I think I've decided in the last, I don't know, hour 30. Holy cow. I think I've decided in the last hour 30 that I must have the NFL package because, I mean, wifey, like I've got this show. I've got to, for the people. I got to do it for the people. I guess we're talking about Thursday night though, right? But whatever.
You never know. That's the other thing we talked about for people watching in the chat and on the replay. There's a good possibility that through this 2019 year, there may be a pop-up Sunday stream. Quite possible.
I mean, there's zero chance I'm not watching. Here's what happens for me on Sunday. I go to church during football season. I go to church, I watch football, and then I have DizTube on Sunday night.
Nice.
I can turn this thing on that's what I did last year, right? I mean,
but you left something out. You go to church.
Yep.
Pray that maybe your Chargers will win. Then you do the rest of those things, right?
Jesus is clearly a Chargers, Cowboys, and Dodgers fan. You know why I know that?
I want to know why. Tell me.
I'm a Chargers, Cowboys, and Dodgers fan, and I'm
okay.
The bad thing about it is right now, it's on his channel, so he can just cut us out if he wants.
At least this week.
He's got the little mute button thing.
Yeah, right. When
you'll be in backstage doing like Shep was doing at one time, just waving, bring me on.
Yeah.
That's great.
When Steve said, I see you're waving your arms or something, I laughed out loud then too. That was pretty funny.
It's some good stuff. I don't think we'll be as chaotic as those gentlemen, but we're going to have our moments here. We're going to have some fun with everything. It'll be interesting to see the extended community as we grow with this channel and what we're doing, the insights and the reflections that come in. One of the things that I definitely would like to do as we get down the road and get comfortable and get established is, reach out and find some of these ladies and gentlemen that are out here in our chat every week and supporting us, and give them a chance to come on and bring their insights.
I love that. So I moved. We didn't plan on moving, but I moved. It doesn't matter. I planned on coming on late at night. I'm a Dodgers fan. I live in Texas, so the Dodger game was often the MLB game late.
Right.
So I planned on just popping it on and talking baseball. But then I moved, and it just didn't work. And so that was the plan that went away. Now I don't even know how this came about, but I'm so excited. Like I was excited for football anyway, but this is going to make it 10 times better, and it's already pretty awesome. So
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I already know of a lot of people that I've talked to, and I think you guys have probably talked to that are within our Disney community, and friends that are in the NFL community, and friends that are in the sports community that will be great, additions as we bring a special guest in here or there to bring in another voice for that week to add a monkey wrench in the middle of our mechanical mayhem, which is great. It's
That will be so fun. Like when any of us can find somebody who's a fan of the team that one of our teams is playing against, that'll just be a blast. Hey, coffee, Disney coffee blog in the house. Disney coffee blog is going to be one of my what month we got? I should just look right here.
And welcome Dances with Goofy is here, and the Atypical Hustlers. Welcome, that's great.
Disney coffee blog is December 1st on Diz2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excited. Kelly, when are you? There you go. November 17th. Kelly. Diz2. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. I had no idea how long you guys were going to go tonight. How long we didn't really talk about it.
No, we didn't. But
it's an hour 30 plus.
It's been great. It's been nice, for us doing a really a last minute announcement of our announcement. We've had a real nice group of people in the chat, and I'm looking forward to seeing that grow as we go on too, because it's nice when you can. It's nice to be nice, as Dev says. It's nice to talk.
Love that too. See, I like Dev, but when I heard him say that, I'm like, all right, this guy. See, that's the thing. Like, there's not a whole lot of negativity in our. Can I call it our Disney? I can't. I just did our Disney community, and I can't imagine how they would succeed. There are some channels, and I won't even name them, but some of them have big numbers that I feel like are just there to complain about Disney, and
they do a good job of it. But I'm a firm believer that God has a path for everybody, and I think that's kind of why different people have found different people and gravitated that way to the friends they've made through this opportunity. And what brought us all together. I mean, in one way, shape, or form, it took me, having something going with football, reaching out to Jeff, you and I talking, and it was just a slip comment that you made of, hey, we should do something where we talk about football sometime, to us coming to this, and then I was thinking about Kelly. You said Kelly within our conversation. I'm like, that's fantastic. We got him.
It's right when whatever that's called happens. I don't know what that's called.
It's just the uniqueness of everything. Kay Atwood, I only want to watch the positive channels. I get you, Kay. I thoroughly agree with that. Preston, at some point, Rachel is going to want to see our dog. I'm just letting you know, at some point during the NFL season, Rachel will want to see one of the dogs. Am I wrong, Kelly?
No, that is right. That is right.
And we will support you.
If you have any of them, just come on over and take. No, I'm kidding. They're pretty awesome dogs, actually.
I'm not kidding. You can come take any of ours anytime.
My cat. That I'm not kidding.
There you go.
2 cats, 4 dogs. I think it might be a giraffe. I'm not sure.
Cats, but I don't really understand the need for cats. Whatever.
Preston wanted to say.
Hello.
I don't even know. This
up, buddy?
Third thing is freaking me out. There we go.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, wait till you get 6 and you're trying to touch each other. It's
the guy. How do they do that? It's like in the Brady Bunch thing.
Let me tell you, the best thing they ever did was when they did the what I call the Zach and Gleek Wonder Twins powers, and they had the 6 thing, and they all touched the middle. That was funny.
That was funny. Yeah. So I'm doing this. I don't know what it is. Some Halloween loop thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. And so we got to do a video where we're in costume. And so everybody's talking about what they're going to do, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I have all the daughters. I have 4 daughters and a wife, and all my animals are female. I'm the only male thing anywhere within a mile of my house. But anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween. They're going to be. I got 2 of my daughters still living in the house, and my wife. So they're going to be the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. And I am not skinny enough to be that dude in Hocus Pocus. It just won't go. So I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. So I just kind of jokingly said in the comments, I'm going to go as this and that. And it seemed to be a hit. So I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. I'll figure it out.
Well,
it leaves it open for anything. If you're
it kind of does, right?
Yeah, I did say that there's a good possibility that for the Halloween party that we're all attending, that I was going to shave my head, get a mask, and just go as Zip. Yeah. Go Chicago. And see what's going on. I can't even do that Boston accent. I can't try it, Kelly. I'm really making it. I'm really doing. You know what? He's going to watch this replay, and tomorrow at like 1 o'clock, I'm going to get a text.
Your phone's gonna be buzzing.
Yeah. Hey, God bless those guys. I love those guys.
They're the best.
Oh, they're awesome.
You know,
Anybody catch Phantasmic Chronicles up here as he volunteers to be on the show for the Browns for the Super Bowl show.
The Browns for the Super Bowl?
You know, okay,
That's what he said. I just thought I'd throw that out there as
I hate
more
to
humor.
say that
I
I
don't know.
have the Browns doing well, but that pains me to talk about that. But with that being said, I got to give my props to the Browns fans because they've sat through a lot. They had their team taken away from them by us. I hate to say it, by us. The Browns fans had to go through that, and then they had to sit through years of poor mismanagement by their players. I mean, they've had 95 number one picks in the past 6 years. I don't know. So they should be good. So it's about time they're getting some success. And Baker Mayfield may be my NFL MVP.
I do have to say, I love his attitude. Like
I
don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect him to be as good as fast. Dude's a stud. Like I love his attitude. I mean, just if somebody could just will their team to win, that's what I think about Baker.
Yep.
And obviously, he's got skill set. Oh my gosh!
And he's loaded around him now. That team is loaded around him.
So why did he go to Oklahoma?
Don't know.
Because he couldn't beat Mahomes at Tech.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Mahomes was the starter at Tech.
I know.
Beat him, so he went to Oklahoma.
I called Kelly when I was down there on property, and it was like Patrick Mahomes was like a god. Everywhere I turned, there was a life-size Patrick Mahomes. It was crazy.
I couldn't even have the first half of the NFL season. I couldn't turn on the TV without watching him throw that stupid sidearm, no look thing. Like
They made a commercial about it. Come on, it was awesome.
That was
Disney fanatic. Terrell Suggs is on the Arizona Cardinals now, and he still has a year or two left in him. But for our scheme and what we were doing, we were trying to get younger, and they offered him a good amount of money, and he took it. He was huge to our franchise. I'm pretty sure he'll be in our Ring of Honor. And he'll have a good chance for the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure he'll go in as a Raven. And we were happy for him. It's good for the Cardinals. It's going to help them, give some leadership to a younger team. Ravens were just going a different way, which we needed to. So it is what it is.
After Ray Lewis, the greatest defensive player of the Ravens ever. After Lewis, obviously.
So I'm wearing one. I have like 8 jerseys. I'm wearing Ray tonight. I'm partial to Ray because I got to spend a whole day with him. My job that I do working with the military. We spent a day with Wounded Warriors, Gold Star families, 5-star families with Ray Lewis, and I got to be his personal driver, and it was one of the best days of my life. He actually signed. There's a picture that was taken one of the playoff years where Ray hit Roethlisberger, and he's actually kneeling over top of Roethlisberger, looking down the field to see what happened with the play. And I got that blown up into it was like a 30 by 50. It's huge.
Wow.
And Ray signed it to Preston. I think it says, "Do you think Ben know I hit him?" And Ray Lewis. So it's hanging in my basement, and it's one of my most prized possessions. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to take it from me.
So
I need that with us sometime.
I need your brain on this then. So I loved watching him as an athlete. I loved Ray Lewis. He committed murder, but now on his interviews, he's
going to bed. He wanted to say
hey, dude. Is he a good guy or a bad guy? Like, I don't know what to do with Ray Lewis. Hey, buddy.
All right, so I'll give you I think I have one of the most honest Baltimore takes on Ray Lewis.
And I believe in redemption, but boy, that would be a pretty good redemption story.
Put it back on charge, please. We're going to need that battery later. Sorry.
Good.
Yeah, you're a technical difficulty sometimes. My thought on Ray Lewis is this: I don't believe that he was involved in that Atlanta murder. What I do believe is that he knew those who were and what they did. And in my opinion,
but that's what I remember.
I'm doing the little things. Where's Kelly? There we go, Kelly. My opinion only, Ray knew. He kept his mouth shut for whatever reasons, whether it was he just wanted to protect his family, whatever the reason was, sky is blue. He chose to keep his mouth shut, and I think that was wrong. And he paid a price for it because he didn't do the jail time for it, but he paid a social price for it because he was ostracized in a lot of areas. Now, what I will say is, to me, God believes in giving people an opportunity for forgiveness. And I have seen him do so much charity work. And I don't believe it's just because he made a mistake. I believe it's just because it's Ray Lewis. And for that, I give him his respect. I am fully apologetic to that family and what happened, but I do not believe that in my mind that Ray was a part of it. So for
I've
that,
heard interviews, and he's so uplifting. He's so positive. He's so all the things that I would like to be, but then it's hard to forget. Like,
I was with him for 6 hours, Jeff, and here's what I'll tell you. The man shook my hand when I first met him, and it was like shaking a cinder block is what it was like. Okay. He looked, I believe and Kelly will back me up with this, with our backgrounds, you look people in the eyes, you get a real good feeling. And that's where most of your discussion is with the people that Kelly and I have dealt with through our lives. So I looked that man in the eyes and I sat there and I listened to him. And then I sat in my car driving with him when he had other people with his entourage. And he asked me about my family and he asked me about my job and what I do. And, he said, hey, he talked about how God works and takes care of people, and he was down there with those soldiers and their families. And what I saw was an honest human being giving of himself. He stayed longer than he had to. He sat talking with more people than he needed to. I think he was only paid for like an hour and a half of his time. And he was there for almost 3 with every one of those families, doing what he had to do to talk to them. And the bigger thing was my boss, it's funny. So I'm a diehard Ravens fan. My boss says to me, look, you can drive him around, but you are not to pester that man. You were there to support him. You're not there as Pete McDevitt, the fan. So, okay. So speaking of the Chargers, we're sitting at lunch. My boss is right across from me. And Ray looks at me and he says, big fella, I know you got questions. You haven't asked me anything. What do you want to ask? And I said, right. I said, tell me about the game last year with the Chargers when you hit the A gap and knocked LT down on his tail. Why did you set the, and I started asking about that. My boss was like, oh my God. But Ray came right back and he said, look, I had done tape work. LT in situations where he had to have a yard constantly took that A gap. He said, so I just took a shot and bet the farm and that's where I got him.
I'll tell you what, as an athlete, I remember that about him. Like, I was never a fan of the teams he was on. I was always a fan of him. Like, he played linebacker with such abandon, but also with such intelligence. Like, you could tell, if you know the game even a little bit, you could tell he knew what was happening.
Yeah, having the opportunity in my lifetime, I never had like the chance to see like United play because I was too young to remember people like that of that stature. But when I've had the opportunity to sit at those games and watch Ray and Ed Reed at the same time on the same, it was a masterpiece. Ed Reed didn't go to the ball; he went to where the ball was going.
Yeah, totally,
it was amazing.
One of the best safeties ever.
I'll tell you what the best thing about for me as a fan, when Ray would come out of that tunnel, my hair would stand up on my body because doing that, it was a crazy little squirrel dance.
See, I hated that dance.
The place erupted and went crazy, and it was just, it really created that atmosphere. I talk about it a lot at the old Memorial Stadium with the Orioles back in the late 79s and 80s was blue collar. And that atmosphere there was amazing, and that's what Ray brought to the city of Baltimore with an attitude and an edge. And now, he could have moved out of Baltimore, left. He stayed here. Ed Reed moved back home. He's living, I think, in Mississippi or one of the states down there where he's doing a lot for his community. But
didn't Reed just go in the Hall of Fame like last week or something?
He did. He just went in the Hall of Fame. And but Ray stayed here to do a lot for the community. So for that, I respect him. He still does a lot. They were both with the U during the times when the U was crazy. That window when God knows what all was going on down there.
Irvin and Jimmy Johnson,
yeah, all that whole run. So like I said, it's good to see. Ray was on the TV, our opening night for our first preseason game. He was on there talking about different stuff, and it's good to have him still around the community. So we've had, think about it, we've had luck. If you look at the three first number 1 picks of the Baltimore Ravens are all in the Hall of Fame. You got to give Ozzie credit, and that's Ogden, Lewis, and Reed.
I mean, so that is really a run right there. That's
impressive. And I don't know that we have anybody on the team right now. I mean, obviously we just got the cornerback from Seattle, which is huge. But I don't see any homegrown talent that we have right now that's going, hey, downscale, thank you. $5. Hey, you guys' opinions are so much better than the garbage sports networks. Love this. Don't stop it.
Thank you so much.
It's fabulous. So I don't think we have any homegrown Hall of Famers right now, where I think you guys do. I mean, I definitely think Rivers is to me is a shoo-in right now. And I think you have the potential, if he keeps going on the same track, he's got a lot of years left to go through it with your quarterback there in Kansas City.
I might be going homer here, but Rivers is one of the most underappreciated players in the history of the NFL, in my opinion. And it's because he plays on the West Coast and they've not been good. But I love Drew Brees. I loved him when he was a Charger. Got to meet him. We'll talk about it. I won't. We'll talk about it. We'll have many streams and we'll talk about it.
There you go.
Big fan. The Chargers did the right thing when they let him go. He had just hurt his shoulder. Only 2 teams gave him a contract. We had Phillip Rivers. It was a no-brainer of all time. And I still get buddies of mine who rip me for being a Chargers fan because, hey, traveling with special abilities, how are you? Because of the Rivers versus Brees thing. It's the dumbest argument ever. Brees is one of the great quarterbacks of all time. I totally get that. Rivers is too.
Rivers is too.
He really is. Like he's
Rivers is
the quarterback of all time.
He's a scrappy son of a gun.
He's a stud.
I like the veracity of his attitude when he's in a game, and you can see it on his face. He just.
That's another thing my buddies give me garbage on. I don't understand that. Like, you're supposed to be like a gentleman when they're trying to smash you. I mean, and he's a great guy too. Like, he's just, I mean, like what we're going to do when my Chiefs your Chiefs get thumped by my Chargers, we're just talking a little back.
Penalty flag. Throw it.
I did say it wrong. I did my mouth actually said my Chiefs. I feel like I need to go to the dentist or something. But
you did. I heard it.
I don't know.
Fantastic Chronicles. Rivers is underrated because he was constantly compared to Bernie Kosar. Kosar is one of the most underrated QBs of all time. That's a great point. Kosar was amazing with the Browns and what he did coming up, and probably doesn't get the respect overall he did coming out of the U. There's another one, Kosar.
Well, in that Rivers draft, I mean, the whole thing with him and Eli and. Big Ben was that year, and you put if Rivers goes where Roethlisberger goes, they still win all those titles. I mean, I'm not saying Big Ben wasn't great; he was.
Look at all that. In the big picture, you have to say it worked out pretty good for Ben. They've gotten rings. For New Orleans, got a ring. For Eli's got 2 of them. Yeah, okay. The Chargers have struggled a little bit.
They have.
That's no fault of Rivers. That's been part of the crew that they've had around him.
If you put Rivers on any of those other teams, they're at least as good, if not better. Like, here's the real question. Oh boy, there's so many topics we're gonna get to throughout the year. We don't need to do them all tonight, but
start making a list.
Whose career would you rather have, Eli Manning or Phillip Rivers? I can tell you that one's got 2 rings, but there's no. I want both of your guys' opinion, but there's no doubt in my mind who the better quarterback is, and it's not the dude with the ring.
Can we go onto Google and get a shot of their wives, and I can make the decision off of that?
Other wives?
Because
who's Eli?
Here's the thing: they both have a great thing about them. They're both, in my mind, Hall of Fame candidates. Right?
I don't know much about Eli, honestly. I know a lot about
his numbers are consistent. He wasn't flashy, but he was consistent, and he took his team and put 2 rings on. So he's going to get his recognition when the opportunity comes. I still think Peyton has a ton more charisma. And for anybody that hasn't seen Peyton's new series, go watch it. It's hysterical.
I haven't. Okay, that's cool.
It's phenomenal.
I love him.
He's incredibly funny and so much charisma and character with him. But both of them have, they're both going to be considered for Hall of Fame. Both of them have married successfully, have great families, and they're living a good life because of the financial success that their family's given them. So in my mind, they're both winners. And while the franchise's fans may get irritated because, we haven't won a ring or we don't have enough rings, or blah, 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 you're not always going to win. There's 32 teams in the NFL.
Exactly.
There's only one of us that can win. So realistically, if every team won a ring in your lifetime, you may be lucky to see your team win 1. And if you're really lucky, 2. I mean, truth be told, if you think about how many teams are out there.
If math were math, 1 out of every 32 years. Kelly, Eli, Phillip, who had the better career so far?
Whoa, I got to go with Rivers.
I think so too. Most
I do, and you're right. the other one's not flashy. He's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He's just not. If I have to pick between the two great guys, I got to pick Rivers.
If you go back to that draft, knowing what we know, Rivers goes first.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
What
And
year? Says, I know no ring, jokes all too well, but the Eagles winning probably like 10 more. Oh, gosh. I love downscale.
What?
Downscale. No ring jokes all too well, but Eagles winning probably. I do love your head coach, Downscale. I want to hate the Eagles, but I can't because I love that head coach. Great guy. I just don't like the Eagles. I did like somebody mentioned Cunningham earlier. Though. I did love me some Randall Cunningham. I kind of wanted to.
You're going to have a decent year.
Let's end with this, guys, because we're almost up on 2 hours here. Did you guys play? And if so,
so I got to look at that draft pick real quick before we go, because now we've been talking about it the whole time. So Manning
draft?
Yeah, Manning went 1. Robert Gallery, a tackle out of Iowa, went 2. He's dissipated. Robert Gallery just dissipated, gone. Then you had Larry Fitzgerald, great wide receiver, Hall of Fame candidate. Then Rivers, of course. Then you had the trade. Then you had rest his soul. I think would have been an amazing long-term player with Sean Taylor with the Redskins.
He was stud.
Stud. Sad what happened to him. Then, to me, one of the biggest flops ever in my mind at the tight end position, Kellen Winslow. So much talent, just did nothing.
I love his daddy. He's one of my favorite all-time players, daddy. That dude's a head case.
Oh, yeah. So then listen to the rest. I mean, these guys that are in the next couple of things. Then you get into D'Angelo Hall, an amazing player through the years. Reggie Williams with Jacksonville, who performed as a wide receiver out of Washington. Deonta Robinson, who was a cornerback at South Carolina for the Texans, who was really good until he got hurt. Then Roethlisberger. Then after Roethlisberger, you got Jonathan Vilma, the linebacker out of Miami. Lee Evans, wide receiver at Buffalo. Let me see if there's any other. Michael Clayton, wide receiver. Will Smith, defensive end for the Saints, amazing player. Vince Wilfork, how many rings has that guy got?
All of them.
You know what a draft class here. To your point.
Well, and so I've always loved Peyton Manning. I was a Peyton Manning fan starting his freshman year at Tennessee. I remember the game. I was listening to the radio. It was against UCLA when he took over. I don't remember who he took over for. Actually, yes, I do. Todd Helton. He took over for Todd Helton, the Rockies first baseman, but that's a whole nother thing. But when Eli came out, and I know it was Archie who came out and said, hey, I'm playing for the Chargers, it pissed me off. I'm a Chargers fan. Now, it does show that he was right, though. He was clearly right.
That was all Archie behind there.
He was. But as much as I want to be mad at the GM for the Chargers in that era, that trade was phenomenal. We got Rivers. We got Nate Kading. We flipped a bunch of things that turned into Sean Merriam. Look at we. Can tell I like my Chargers. But it was a great haul for Eli. And I would say worst case scenario, that was even those two. I would actually say Rivers is quite a bit better. But maybe that's me being a homer. But that trade was such a haul.
Any idea who the 154th pick for the San Diego Chargers was that year?
That year?
Yeah, he was a running back. I'll give you a hint there.
Yes, I guarantee I'll get it. He was a running back.
Yes.
That year.
Came out of NIU in the MAC.
Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. Kelly, I need.
Any idea?
Oh. I lost Jeff completely. Did he freeze up on us?
I don't know. He must have. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I have no idea. You got me.
Yeah, Jeff.
And you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk to a Chiefs fan much about draft picks. I mean, the best thing they ever did was the Mahomes thing. I mean, we messed up on was it Jim Kelly and Dan Marino. We completely bypassed them and took Blackbridge or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Years and years ago. How in the world did we do that?
This is now turned into McDevitt and Myers and no me, because me is locked up. This is our chance.
Yeah,
Chiefs for you.
He left us alone on his channel.
Like he's asking, are we still on? Yes, we're still on. Kelly, please put in the chat that yes, we are still on. Kelly and I are talking, and we hope he comes back.
Oh, he may. Oh, yeah, he's going to have to try to get back in the screen. Okay. Well, folks, welcome to Dole Whip Dad. Jeff Bates is his name. He's not here, but Dole Whip Dad is his channel.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are on Dole Whip Dad, which he's not here. So feel free to talk anything you want in the chat about the Dallas Cowboys, San Diego Chargers, or streaming on Sunday nights because he can't defend himself. And we will.
Jeff just said, Kelly, maybe you were right about sending that weather down here. We may have lost Jeff. And that's okay. If we lose Jeff or we can't get him back, then we'll end the stream for him. But the weather is a little out of our control in the Midwest right now. We're expecting some pretty serious weather tonight, and it's kind of been developing right about over the top of me and heading down his way. So maybe he's getting some of it. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. So Disney Fanatic, we are still on and being run by Pete McDivitt and Myers in the Mouth. Yes, we are. This is now McKinnon and Mills.
We apologize. We'll just start with that right there.
Yeah. We miss Dole Whip Dad. Don't get me wrong. We hope he comes back. But in the meantime, we're going to talk, we're going to talk here for because Kelly, I got nowhere to go. It's up to you. Anytime you want to end the stream, but I'm
I think we're good. Well, we'll give him a chance to see if he can get back in his own stream. I don't know if you can though. That's the problem. We're gonna have to see. Maybe he'll let us know. He'll get on and see if he can get back in or not. It's kind of hard when you're the host if you get kicked out to get back in with this. Yeah.
So technically, we could keep going till Sunday when his show goes on and just do it for him.
We're just gonna do that 24-hour stream thing.
Yeah. Who's he interviewing? Hey, I don't think we can. Can we send a link out to invite somebody in? Can you do that, Kelly?
It would actually, yeah. We could resend that link out, and then we could invite.
No, okay, go invite Jeff. Go invite somebody. Go invite somebody else. Bring somebody.
I don't know. All the guys are busy tonight, so I'm trying to think who I can invite.
Invite Shep or Steve. One of those two guys will come on. Since you're more technically inclined than I am.
What happened? What happened? He's trying to get back in.
He's trying to get back in?
Yeah, I think he's trying to get back in because we both went out for a second there.
It
Invite Dole Whip back.
Only likes my Chromebook and not my laptop for some reason. Oh. While we're waiting for Dole, I want to invite somebody. It's our first time doing it. We got somebody here. Let me see. Let me see where Shep is. There's Dave.
What the heck was that?
There he is. He's back.
He's back.
He asked me a hard question and my brain exploded.
I was just about to send the invite to somebody, anybody.
I have no idea. So I've got my normal laptop right here, and I've got my little $19 Chromebook thing right here. And this thing says, hey, you're not allowed to be on the internet anymore because I don't know why. And this one's going just fine. I'm like, what the heck? So I had time to Google it. Michael Turner.
It's 11 o'clock. We've been going for 2 hours, which has been phenomenal. It's flown by. We still got 24 people in the chat, which is great. Thank you all for joining in.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And being a part of the interaction, what we're doing. Please let your friends know and family know that are football fanatics, that might be a football/baseball. Preston, hey, Dad, just so you know, I can hear you in the bedroom. Great. Fantastic. Yeah.
As long as it's another night in the bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as it's Preston and not my wife, I'm good to go.
So I seriously have no idea how come, I don't understand. This computer thought my internet was no good, but this computer was okay with it. It's right here. I don't know.
I've had my iPad while I've been standing in, like on a military base. I've had my iPad work great and my phone completely shut down. And I'll be like, and the same can just be like, well, what is going on? Which is usually
we learned that we don't get kicked off. That's nice that the stream kept going. And
yeah,
like 6 times I had to, would you like to reconnect? Yes. But it worked finally.
Please let me back in my stream.
Yeah, they're still going. Jessica says my mom just texted me that she turned off the stream when Dole Dad left. Oh. I like your mom.
You are that charismatic, Jeff.
Am I? Okay,
people
whatever.
Are leaving the stream.
We covered
your network card.
We covered well for you. If you didn't hear, we said this is.
We have it over here, and then as soon as I turned it on, it came back. So I don't know what that's about either.
I see we have 49 likes tonight. We appreciate that too.
Nice. Thanks, everybody. That's 50 now.
Awesome and fantastic. So,
well, you guys, I knew this would be fun, but if there's any doubt, it's clear now. This is going to be a blast of a year. You guys are going to make it fun. You guys want to close up? You guys want to brag about what you got coming up, or I don't know. What do you
have coming up?
Yeah, one of those.
What do I have coming up? In about an hour, I'm going to go sleep on the couch. which is normal, But just so everybody, Kelly loves that. Just so
I do.
everybody,
I love that too.
there's multiple times where I do that just because my wife does get up very early and I don't want to be rude. But no, tomorrow I am taking Preston to the beach and going to get my other daughter who's down at the beach with my mother, my sister, and the rest of the family, and going to bring her home because volleyball tryouts are this weekend. And
Nice.
I am just getting through next week of 3 fantasy drafts, traveling down to Norfolk to work at the naval bases and all down in the Norfolk area.
Nice.
I need to get a Distant cooler. I have not bought that yet. I got to do that. I'm going to do that tonight. I feel like I left out there. Yes, there
I'm
it is.
pretty sure my
Um,
nails right there. I think I've got a shirt in there. I'm pretty sure I didn't get I don't use koozies, but a shirt.
I'm going to be using koozies here, so I'm going to get the Distant one so I can support the boys.
I put my koozie on my koozie.
There you go. My biggest thing is just trying to get through next week and the fantasy drafts that I have so that we can take off on the 27th to Disney to have what is just going to be a phenomenal time. I am, fully expecting that, the party the first Halloween party that we'll be partaking in that week, later on in that week when we're there, is starts at 7, the gates open at 4. Kelly, I'm expecting to find a ice cream in my hand by 4:05. So that is my plan.
Are you DVC?
I am not DVC.
You get in an hour early for DVC. Last year we discovered that.
Really? So you get in at 3? No.
Whatever, an hour early. Yeah, whatever the time is. I think it's the same night or the same every night.
Because AP's getting at 4. So
I'm going in October, and I am going with my kids and my wife to the Halloween party. But I will be there at the Magic Kingdom that day being the day that this and that said they were going to be doing the Halloween thing. But I'm going with Gonzo. I don't think we're doing the Halloween party, honestly. So I don't know.
There's a ton of people going to that night, Jeff. It's going to be ridiculous. It's,
And that reminds me that Resort TV 1 will be live for tomorrow night for the first party. Yeah. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you have to check out Resort TV 1. They're fantastic. The great thing is tonight. It was what is tonight? Tonight's Thursday. So Monday, when we were talking with Dev, and he wasn't feeling that good, so he and I were just texting back and forth about things that we were doing. He and I are going to get something to eat and some other stuff we were talking about doing. And he was asking me about the party, and I was like, "Yeah, are you going on this date?" And he's like, "Well, I'm already going this date, this date, this date." And I'm like, "Well," so me and Preston are going. And it wasn't 5 minutes later, I get a text. "All right, I'm in. I got it. I'm going." So here's the great thing. Preston turns to me last night after this and that, because Steve was on there riding him saying, "Hey, I can't wait to meet you. You and I are going to have a private talk." So Preston turns to me and goes, "Yeah, what he doesn't know is I got 6'4" Dev with me." I was dying.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. He's like, "I got 6'4" Dev, so Steve can talk to him." So
yeah, you want Dev on your side. If we're attacked by pirates on Pirates of the Caribbean, I want to be in Dev's boat. Dude,
well, and here's the great thing. I think, and I don't know if I told one of you guys this. I'm not sure if I told you both, but so Steve and Preston have been going at it. I was on a private chat with me and Kelly and some of the guys, and I was telling them about Preston playing in this tournament that he was in that you're aware of, Jeff, last weekend. Yep. And he was having a great tournament. And I'm on the phone with Jeff as Preston's playing in one of his games.
That's right.
Yeah.
Didn't he double?
Yeah, he ripped should have been a double. He pulled up because he didn't want to get hurt.
That's right.
To a single, which was fine. But he ripped the shot down to first base or down to third baseline, and he looks over to me as he gets to first base and turns to me, instead of saying, "Hey, Dad, I did it," or "Dude, what a shot," or something that I'd like my son to say, he looks at me and goes, "Tell Steve to take that and put it in his plate."
I love this kid.
Like, unbelievable. Because you gotta love.
It's going to be.
Of course, Jeff, you were on with me when that happened.
I remember it was awesome.
You were live, so
it's going to be interesting to watch those two meet up. That's something that I hope somebody's got that camera after that, because it's going to be good.
Somebody should just be filming everything all the time. Like,
I think several of us are going to pretty much run a camera 24/7, basically, when we're all down there. That night that we decided that we're all going to the Not So Scary Halloween party, I think if you threw a rock anywhere in Disney, you're going to hit a vlogger.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be just crazy.
And we're going to film the Beverly Challenge. I'm not sure whose channels they're on yet. We're going to go live. Steve and the guys graciously offered for me to do the play-by-play color commentary.
You better have. Perfect.
I am ecstatic about doing. I actually have been working on my practicing my Cosell. Look at the little monkey go. You know, which is Cosell's favorite line that people went off. It's still I go on YouTube and look up that one. It says,
Who was he talking about then?
hold on, Disney Fanatic. Okay, guys, I've head out for the night. Thanks for a great
Thank you,
I
Disney
look forward to
Fanatic.
future episodes with you all. Hey, thanks, Disney Fanatic. I appreciate it. So do the guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. You guys have been amazing. Who was Cosell talking about right there, Pete? You remember?
Cosell was talking about the one and only O.J. Simpson. It was O.J.
Wasn't it a little receiver from the Redskins?
No, it was not. It was O.J. and he was going down, and it was, oh my goodness, look at the little monkey go. And it just started all kind of craziness. But the greatest part of Cosell is when he did live interviews. You know, he would be so off track and be all over the place. He'd be like, you know, walking up to you, Jeff, how you doing? Let me tell me about the swing you had. And you'd be talking about the swing. All of a sudden he's like, yeah, and I thought you played the outfield was crazy. And then 2 days ago you did that. He's just all over the place. So
my favorite was with him and Ali. Anything he did with Ali was classic.
Great call. When Ali messed up his hair,
yes,
that was one of the best interviews ever. Muhammad, give me a minute. Let's talk about it. You know,
I love it. He got voted the favorite and the least favorite sports announcer one year on the same poll. That's how
he's you know, there's my wife asked me, you know, at different times, hey, if there's one person you could have met or a group of people you could have met, believe it or not, in my like 5 or 6 that I would have liked to have had a chance to meet, of course, it's Abraham Lincoln. For me, it's Martin Luther King. Was 2 of them. Jesus, of course, obviously. But Cosell's one of my people. I would love to have sat down at a table 1-to-1 with him and done just hey, you know, done this.
So at work, I do interviews. I used to do a lot more than I do now, but that's one of the questions that I've often asked. If you could sit down with 3 people living, dead, fictional, not whatever, who would they be? And it's kind of a psychological question. Usually of the 3, 2 have something in common. It tells you a lot about the person. You know, if they're 2 military people, if they're 2 family people, you get a feeling of what's a big deal in their life. Yeah. And that's a great question. And we're going to have to do a football version of that at some point during the year.
Absolutely. Now, Fantastic Chronicles has a good point. Cosell was all about himself, loved him, but he had no awareness outside of himself. I think that's why he was so successful. That's a great point. And he was 100% about himself till the day he died. But yeah, his charisma and character, he knew what he wanted to do. And he had a persona, and that's, you know, realistically, that's what all we're about. If you think about all the people that are successful in media or something, it's some type of persona that you create. You know, from the wrestling business, that is 100% what you do. You know, as soon as you're really done your training with, like my brother's wrestling school that he has, when they're done their training, it's like, what's your character going to be? What are you trying to create? What message are you trying to bring, and how are you going to sell that? And that's what we're all doing. That's what everybody's doing.
I remember that stream when you and Steve were talking, and I had no idea what you're talking about, but Steve certainly did. And he just lit up. I mean, whoever you were talking about, I don't remember the names. Oh my gosh. And then he'd tell you a story, and then you tell him a story. And I mean, I didn't know what you're talking about, but that was awesome. I love the UFC. I love watching MMA. One of my best friends in the world, probably my best friend in the world, loves that. I don't even know what it's called. Wrestling. I've actually sat in a row behind the McMahon family when Vince McMahon went into the Boys and Girls Clubs Hall of Fame. Okay. And he went there and talked, and I watched his family and how proud they were of him. His wife, who's now, or used to be she was in the cabinet, was the Small Business Administration, whatever. She was right there, and a whole bunch of beautiful people. Oh my goodness. But anyway, it was neat to watch his family be so proud of him. I mean, he's probably a billionaire. And they were proud of him.
If he's not a billionaire, he's real close to it. I mean, what he's done with that wrestling entertainment is just absolutely amazing. He is in that business. He is a genius, an absolute genius. Now, what I always say to everybody, because I always get the whole, you know, wrestling's fake, wrestling's this, wrestling that. What I always say to everybody is this: if you take it for what it is, which is, I'm sorry because I'm texting Preston to come here and put the dogs out because my one lab is going crazy. What you take it for what it is a physical, athletic soap opera. These are men and women who are playing characters.
I love that you say that because I've always said it was a soap opera for dudes. I liked roller derby when I was a kid, so yeah, I got nowhere to talk because roller derby it was roller derby. I don't have any idea why I liked it, but as a kid, I went. My dad took me to roller derby. And same kind of thing. I actually remember some of those names, but you know what? So I love podcasts, and I love Joe Rogan, and I love the UFC. Dana White talks about Joe Rogan as being the Oprah for dudes, and I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I never got into the wrestling, but most of my best buddies are insanely into it. Like, have spent money to go to these events. And when you were talking that night, I'm like, I didn't, but I should have called a bunch of my buddies and said, get over here, because they're talking about people that you love.
Well, the thing with that is you either, what I've found over the years, and again, I always preface my wrestling talk with, I am a pimple on the backside of this whole business. I am a nobody. Okay. I got to have 5 minutes in the sun with some of the greatest wrestlers of all time because my brother gave me that opportunity. I'll be forever grateful.
He lit up when you said those names, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, being able to say that I was in the ring and got squashed by King Kong Bundy, that's a pretty cool thing. There's not many people in their life that can say that.
Most people don't like getting squashed. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There you go. But what I'll say is, these fans, you're either in or you're out. There's no middle of the road. Oh, I kind of like wrestling. You're either in, you're spending money, you're driving all over, you're doing the whole thing, or you're, hey, that's not for me, it's not my thing, and that's okay.
They're so loyal. That's such a good point. And NASCAR's like that, insanely loyal, paying a ton of money. Like, we've got Texas Motor Speedway's right down the road here, and every year I would get a bunch of tickets. And for one day in the town where I work, I was the most popular guy because we have a relationship with Coca-Cola, and they would send us a bunch of tickets. And I went once, and I'm like, that's too loud. I don't know what's going on. They're going fast. It's amazing. Can I go now? And but people camp out for days and drop thousands of dollars. And it's the same with wrestling. It's a loyal fan base. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And, probably for Kelly and I, maybe for you, the best part of NASCAR is Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first.
Yeah, I love that. That's pretty.
I love me some Ricky Bobby.
I am way behind in chat, guys. Thank you so much. If you ask a question, now's the time. What about you, Kelly? What do you got coming up?
Let's see. I got like craft time with Kelly tomorrow at noon. Wow, it's a noon stream that it's just whatever happens, and I don't even.
I have seen that you go in the middle of the day. Like, it makes me want to not go to work, but
we changed our time from noon on Fridays to 1 o'clock on Saturdays, and we had people come to us and say, "Hold on a second, you were getting me through the second half of my Friday."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we said, you know what, we'll keep trying to do Fridays at noon, but Mama Mouse took a new job, so she can't be there with me. So Fridays is craft time with Kelly, I guess. Is we're just doing something to last week I had my son on with me. He was my guest, and we did our 4 favorite things, and it was a lot of fun to do with him, but now he's back at school.
Well, if you get really slow, I'll be on the beach. You can call me.
Okay. Don't be surprised if you get a phone call, because I might be really need some help tomorrow about noon. The Saturday stream, we right now at this point in time, it's an out of town stream.
Awesome.
We're kind of not one to announce it, but it's a pretty cool Disney place to go near.
You don't want to miss that. I know where Kelly's going, and you don't want to miss that.
I think I know too, and I will be paying attention.
Yes, that's
kind of what we're planning on doing on Saturday. There are some restrictions going there, so we're going to do the best we can to work around those restrictions because we don't want to make anybody upset.
Ask for forgiveness.
That's
usually work.
Don't ask for permission, just ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
So that's what we got coming up here tomorrow and Saturday. The week after that, I'm going to be pulling some long days, long hours at my job. We've got a big event going on there, so it's going to take me kind of out of probably the next Friday stream. And then some little thing called Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, baby. I keep looking at the calendar over here. It's really, really almost here.
It is coming so fast, and I feel like I'm so not prepared for this. I am not ready. I don't have anything packed. I'm not ready to go. I'm
going light, man. I'm going light. I'm bringing my backpack and some Disney pins and maybe an extra pair of underwear because I'm going light. I can't wait. It's going to be hot though, man. Like, what are we doing in the middle of August? Like, it's crazy hot here, but I hear Orlando's even sweatier. You know what?
Muggier.
A bunch of shirts because I'm gonna sweat, but everybody else will be sweating too. I can't wait though. I still feel like I'm faking it. Like I'm saying it out loud. I know it's true, but I don't really think I'm gonna be there for opening day. But I really am. I can't believe it. I can't wait. I'm so stoked.
I just
Now we have the whole other challenge of getting in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I just hope they don't close the gates because, with me taking Preston down, I can't go down and do an all-nighter. My plan is I'm going over to the park on Wednesday. We're going to do the morning, and I think my last fast pass that I'm planning is for like around 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to take him back, get a good dinner, get a shower, put him to bed early with myself, and get up, 3, 4 in the morning, like Walt was talking today on his stream about going over there around 3. And I think that's, what I'm going to do because I at least just want to get in the building.
Yeah.
I'm
going with Gonzo and Al. Are you still in the chat? Al's going to be there, and a couple of us. I'm not exactly sure of the whole crew, but I'm going to do whatever they say. Hey, the Ace Deuce family, what's going on? I'm going to do whatever they do, but I think the plan is between 2 and 3. Dude, I'm going to be sleepy. Like I can go, but I can't go 3 days in a row like that. So I don't know.
I plan on sleeping on Labor Day. That's my plan. Is I'm going to sleep Monday, Labor Day. I'm not working. My kids don't have anything. We're on an early flight going back out on Sunday now. We adjusted out because Preston has a big thing with his baseball team that he wants to get back for. So we're literally going to land from Disney, go right to a baseball party, and then come home. And then I plan to collapse.
So what day is Labor Day? Monday. Is it the first?
It's first.
First. No.
First is.
Or it'd be the second. It'd be the second.
Oh, you're right. It's the second. You're right. It's second. Sunday's
yeah,
first.
because I'll be Galaxy's Edge is 29. Yeah, then I'll be Food and Wine the 30th. Epcot 31st Magic Kingdom. Then I think the 31st is the first is a travel day for me. So
you and I are Food and Wine at the same time. I'm doing Food and Wine Friday.
Sweet. So I'll have a day of travel and then a Sunday and then a Monday. That's cool. That'll work.
Yeah, just
cool.
To relax, revive, get going back again. Because I'm back at Disney. Haven't said this to anybody, but the 14th and 15th of September, I am back at Disney again, and I've already got the droid thing lined up. I went online and got locked in for that. So I will be building a droid on the 14th if I don't get to build one when they have opening day. I know Steve and Walt and all those guys were talking about all these different reservations they had. Yeah. And they've been kind enough to say, hey, they're going to hook some of their people up. Kelly, did you freeze up?
No.
There you go. Okay. I thought you froze up for a second. I was like,
whoa. I'm listening. I can't believe you're getting to go back down there in September.
Yeah. 14th and 15th. I'm taking I got my national conference for work down in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm flying down there. I'll be there for a week for a conference. And then Friday night, we are driving up from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, and then we're going Saturday and Sunday at the park. One of my counterparts who is from California is an AP out there, never been to Florida, never been to any of the parks. So we are doing 4 parks, 2 days. Kelly, I'm using the Magical Pass, and I'm getting him on all the top rides, and we are just going to run.
That's awesome.
Good deal.
Plan, and it'll be good for him to see, again, another great thing to see Disney, and somebody who's been to Walt's Land and see him there. So we're going to build a droid and have some fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'll be out. My family vacation is in October. I wasn't going to Galaxy's Edge. We planned the October trip before the dates happened, and it's just worked out. It's just a blessing. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to see the Millennium Falcon. I honestly don't like if I don't get in, it's okay because I'm going in October.
Right.
And if I'm just like the guy. You ever see those cats that like just hang out and watch the other cats like fight? If I'm the dude up there just videoing, I'll be happy. I'll be pin training with cast members and videoing all the chaos. I can't imagine how I won't be happy. I heard them talking. I guess Dave and Steve were disagreeing on how many people are going to get and what are they going to do. I'm kind of on the Dave side on this. They're going to have to come up with something, or it's going to be like Disney. The narrative at Disneyland currently is it's not popular, which I don't agree with at all. But that's what the narrative is. Because there's nobody there. The narrative could easily be in Orlando in 3 weeks. Why weren't you ready for it? Because way more people will be there than the numbers allow. So
I think the only thing that's going to help is all those cast previews and the AP previews, which sucks because I had the AP preview for what's today? Today's the 15th. I had the AP preview for the 17th, and couldn't get down there because I was already had too much going on. I couldn't get down there. So, but I think that's going to help a little bit because at least a lot of the locals who are there are going to get in and they're not going to want to fight the crowds. But I do think you're right, Jeff. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be packed. And the only solstice I have in it is I went on today because I bought Preston's ticket today, finally, because I've been, I don't know why, I've just been lazy. So I bought his ticket and I went on to do fast passes for he and I was able to, anything but Sleeky Dog I could get. So is it
really?
Yeah, because that tells me, well, maybe it's not going to be as crowded as you think because everybody, even though they're going to Galaxy's Edge, they're still going to go after the other things. And when you got Alien Flying Saucers still available and Toy Story Mania still available.
For opening day?
For opening day, the 29th. I got Toy Story Mania. I got, what else did I get? Toy Story Mania. I got Phantasmic for 2. I got the 9 o'clock show. I didn't get the first show. So I got the 9 o'clock show. So it tells me, it's a little busy, but not too much. And I got something else. Maybe it was Star Wars or something that I got. And if the park's going to be overwhelmed, there's going to be people there, And there's still reservations. There's still some reservations available, even though I think the Disney crew took almost all of them. There are still some available.
So there was none for the cantina. That evening.
They're not letting you do that yet. They're not. I think it's September 1st. Or maybe September 3rd. It's September. It's sometime in September that they're allowing you to start booking that out. This first opening weekend, you couldn't book anything for the Falcon or any of that stuff. So, matter of fact, it may even be October 1st because I did look for, when I go back down, I looked for the Falcon. I looked for the Cantina. None of those were up there. The only thing that was up there was
open yet.
Lightsaber and the Droid.
I'm assuming that I'm going to use what do they call the extra magic hours or whatever in October to get in the Falcon and to get in the Cantina. Smart. Because I'll be on property if it doesn't work out this time. And honestly, I have family in California. Worst case scenario, if I go 2 trips in a row and I don't do the stuff I want, I'm going to go see Wifey's family in October or November because there's nobody in line over there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not the plan, but I can sell that. I mean,
yeah,
in-laws are over there, so
I think it's going to be nuts though. And
I do too.
To Kelly's point, his whole description of you could throw a rock and hit somebody, it's going to be true. There's going to be not only for all of our community, but as I look at them, the extended elite YouTubers are going to be out there. I'm sure Tim Tracker will be there. I know Adam the Woo he's in town. I think with Josh at the same time. Josh and Jen are going Saturday. I think Adam the Woo's there, but he'll be around for grand opening. He's obviously one of the bigger ones, and some of those other ones on that same level. Justin Scard will be running around, because it's the event to be at, So
and again tomorrow night to pump our friends Resort TV 1. I'm guessing it's going to be epic. I mean, it's the first one. First of all, that makes me so happy. I'm so sick of this Texas summer. Get me out of here. It's too hot. But really, 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 Halloween starts tomorrow at Disneyland or at Disney World. What the heck?
Well, and Josh, I mean, they're phenomenal. I mean,
they are. I love them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, amazing people. Their parents are down to earth. You can see that they raised Josh and Jenna a certain way, and I respect that coming from my military background, the way I was brought up. They treat everyone. Doesn't matter anything. You can take any type of thing that you would feel that someone could say, well, there's discrimination on X, and there's none for them. And they try to make time for everybody. They try, they truly appreciate the super chats. I mean, look, obviously, again, you're working hard on a craft. If people want to give you money, you deserve the right to get that. But they make sure they take the time to recognize and say thank you. They do. Yeah. And I couldn't think of a better. To me, I know that there is, as I was even just saying, all the elite people, the Tim Trackers and Adam. To me, Resort TV 1 is on that same level. I look at them that way. I think of them that way.
I'll say more than that. If I could meet, like, there's some you feel like there's some I don't feel like I know. I said it in one of my videos actually recently. If I could sit down and have lunch, dinner, breakfast with anybody, it would be them. I mean, and not to denigrate anybody else, but I just feel like they're people I'd like to be friends with. I guess that's the way I want to say it. They feel real. They feel real. I'm gonna stick with that. Like they're likable.
I saw them interact with Kelly's wife. I was there that when she was down there, but I missed it. But I was watching and I was trying to get over to talk with them, and I missed Mama Mouse. But I saw them interact with her, and it was one of the things. Well, wow, that's really cool. There's somebody who follows them. I see her name. I didn't know her. I didn't know your wife. I didn't know you. I was just a fan out there, but I saw him interact with her and take the time and talk. And then, other like Dapper Tom and guys like that. And I see him just treating people with integrity and compassion and honesty and so many different descriptions. And it's like, these people I want to be around, just like you said, Jeff. And I'll tell you, the thing that was cool for me is the last time I was down with them and hanging out with them for the night, we went into Sunny Eclipse. We were going in there, and Josh and Jenna and their mom were eating beforehand, and they had texted our Johns, because I was with our Johns, of where they were. And we came in, we sat down, and they didn't have to, stop eating and acknowledge me. Our Johns is tight.
Hey, Meg.
Magical Meg. Nice. So they didn't have to do that.
Meg.
And did. And that, to me, that was just humbling.
Yeah, they just ooze friendly. I want to let them know how much I care about them. I care about them. There's plenty of people I care about. And, you get to know somebody. Video is that very personal thing. It's one of the neat things about live streams. It becomes intimate, and you get to know people, and, people think you know them. It's weird. I just want them to have success. I want them to be happy. And I want them to know that, I have a good Friday almost every Friday, but I still come home looking forward to that. I hear people say, oh, I had a bad day and you made it better. And that's so awesome. Well, here's what I have for you. I had a great day and you're making it better. And that's freaking awesome. I just appreciate it. I do. And there are some streamers that I really, really like. And there's some streamers that seem a little negative. They seem so positive. You know what? Here's what I will say. My favorite thing last Friday, I think it was last Friday, they kept acting. And I say acting in quotes,
Meg's heading off to bed, Jeff, just so you know. She just wanted to pop in real quick and say hello. Meg, we're glad you're here.
Love you, Meg. Thanks for being here.
We were talking
Thanks,
earlier.
Meg.
We were talking earlier, Meg, that you are officially a part of the kindergarten crew. So congratulations.
Go Dallas Stars, by the way. I'll throw that out there. I just think that the way they acted when people wanted to meet them was so endearing. They kept acting surprised. And I say acting. I could tell. I believe it was real. I want to meet them. I can see a day not that far that they're not going to be able to do anything without a bigger crew to keep people away from them, because people want to meet these guys.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
They do. I know we were fortunate, and we kind of understood that, a crowd getting around and would create a problem. And,
Sure.
And so we typically would and at first we kind of were like, I hope they don't think we don't like them or something, because we go in and we go,
your way, right?
It's great to meet you. It's awesome. Okay, I'm going to get out of your way. Do your stream, because we didn't want to, get in the middle of that. And but we were able to talk to Josh before a stream for a while, and he, came to see us a little bit early, and genuinely just good, down to earth people. And the mom and dad, awesome. Dad sat down. We just started talking like he'd known me forever. He was just a wonderful, wonderful man. So it's just there. You'll love it. You'll enjoy it, Jeff. You really will.
I can't wait. I can't wait to meet all you guys. And I bet you guys, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. I would have said, haha, no way, if you said we're going to go tonight for 2.5 hours, 2 days ago. This wasn't
I'm thinking we're going to be on for 30 minutes. I'm going to tell you right now.
We could have almost gone through a whole NFL game, and we didn't even know we were doing this until a couple hours ago. So my point in saying that is this is going to go well. Yeah. I can't wait. There's 2 weeks that I'm most excited about, and that's my, Chargers beating your Chiefs. But other than that, I think every week is going to be awesome. I don't think my Chargers get to beat your Ravens, but I'll check the schedule.
No, we don't play. We play. We got to. I actually have to pick against my team on week 3 when we go to Kansas City. Although I was checking the mail today and I still didn't see the tickets. 50-yard line, second row. I was looking for those. My one ticket that says, "Hey, here's the other ticket. Come find me."
Where are your seats?
Where are my seats?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my season tickets for the Ravens, my home ones, are in the west end zone in the club level.
So that's why I ask. I used to coach high school football, and it feels like a whole lifetime ago. But when I lived in San Diego, I would go to San Diego State games, and all 12 of us would be in the stadium. But we would sit in the end zone because that's where the coaches like to sit, because that's when you can see the stuff. And so I don't know. I'm just going to say it. They're a real fan if they're sitting in the end zone, in my never so humble opinion. Did you pick that on purpose? Because I think that's the best place to sit.
I got to be honest and tell the truth. One of my best friends was able to secure the seat license and buys them from somebody. So he already had them, and he asked me to go. I have not. I'll be honest. I haven't been to a game for quite a while. I have the tickets available to me. I actually talked to him like a month ago and said, "Hey, I want to get tickets for one of the 2 home games." And I said, "I want to take the tickets." He said, "All right, yeah, just let me know." And I never called him. So life is, it's crazy. I travel a lot with work, so that takes a lot away. And Preston and Amber, my 2 middle kids, both have a ton. Amber does travel softball, travel basketball, and also does high school volleyball. And Preston does travel soccer, travel baseball, and travel basketball. Wow. So my weekends have been kind of consumed. So it's kind of, I'm even going to enjoy it more with this. I enjoy sitting at home, watching the game, looking down at that stadium when it's 8 degrees below zero, and everybody's freezing their tail off, and I'm sitting here in my house. It's going to be even better with you guys. We definitely have to, when we have one of our teams on national television and we're at home. Getting this little stream together for, even if it's just a halftime 30-minute thing, would be great, especially if we can get those who are playing against. Like, I will definitely pull out the popcorn and sit back when we have Kelly and Steve with Colts versus Chiefs, which I believe is like week 5 or week 7. I have the whole
somewhere in there
in front of me. But
if Mr. Luck doesn't get his ankle better, that won't be a very good game.
Steve said to me today on I think it was either a text or a stream that they're going to be a contender, because I was laughing because I sent him, I was on a stream, I sent him a note saying, "Hey, please explain to me how Cleveland is going to the Colts, and the Colts are a 3-point favorite." Like,
week what?
You got to be kidding me. Now, it was a preseason game. I get it.
Oh, okay.
The Cleveland is going to the Colts, and the Colts are a 3-point favorite. I was like, give me a break. There's no way. And it's week 3 when everybody's going to be playing.
So I love football. I love betting. I love betting football. I wouldn't bet, seriously, a preseason game to save my life. Like, there's zero chance you could possibly know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know that there's much chance you can know what's going to happen.
I went 4 out of 5 tonight.
In the preseason?
Yep.
Isn't it just
the only one I lost? The only one I lost is the Jets. I had the Bengals. I had the Ravens. I forget who else I had. 2 other ones. I had 4 out of 5. Not only it wasn't much. $25 a game, big deal. But it was just fun to play it. I just wanted to do something while I'm sitting here, watching this stuff.
So Downscale and Dances with Goofy and a few others are having the tech talk of all time in the chat.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I love me some tech. I don't have any idea what you guys are talking about. I feel like it's here. I'll just read this. I have a Gateway 2000 machine that is my favorite DOS machine. Aren't you happy that I knew what that was? It's on the CRT, and it's a 95 machine, which has full. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You guys rock.
I feel like I'm listening to Zip.
Yeah. By the way, apparently that guy knows how to bet some sports. Dang.
Zip's very.
It sounds like.
I'm telling you, from my talks with him, he is a front runner to be a contender in the Survivor League.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know what I should say and what I shouldn't say. But if we're doing fantasy football, I hope he's not in my division.
He's elite from just you can talk to people and feel where they're at, and I have the utmost respect. I joke around a lot about Zip because the guy's a great guy.
I love it.
We talked a lot about people that influence us and everything.
Yeah.
Tell you, and I think I told Kelly this by talking one day. I have a regret in this whole industry. My biggest regret is that Zip and I were trying to hook up with Dev, because I was with Dev, and it was probably 6 months ago, and we couldn't make it happen. Okay. And I didn't know Patrick then. He was just coming in, and I knew he was Zippity Doodad, but I didn't know. I didn't know him enough to tell Dev, "Hey, this is safe to go meet this guy and hang out." Okay, because I just kind of talked to Pat on there, And my one regret is that I missed that opportunity. I think I lost months with not only Patrick, but maybe some of those other guys where I could have had, like I talked, my big mantra is, you win the race when you put a smile on someone's face. There could have been a lot of smiles that I feel I lost. So am I trying to make up for lost time with them, with people like you two gentlemen? Or like I sent a text to the guys today, hey, if anybody's around at Galaxy's Edge, we don't have a lot of plans, let me know. I'm big about it because that's my one regret. It's Zip. So I'm looking to see and I'm looking to finally shake that man's hand.
Yeah.
Say, dude, you make me laugh. Thank you.
I love that you said that. I don't have a lot of regrets, but the regrets I have are about people and not saying yes to meetups. Like there's a Disney guy. I don't want to, it's a long story, but he did a lot of neat things for our family. He's a Disney employee at Disneyland of some prominence, and I had an opportunity to go behind stage and meet him. And I sent my kid. I mean, it's a nice story. I gave my kid the opportunity instead of me, and we just had plans to do it again. And this was just like last year. And he passed away. Totally shock. Wasn't sick, and it's a whole thing that I'll probably tell the story someday. But yeah, you never know, man. You just never know. You gotta. I as a younger man, I didn't give people enough attention with my time, busy with family, busy with work. Yeah, I'll meet you up next time. And that one smacked me in the face a little bit. You never know when that might be the last time. So yeah, I hope I get to shake a whole lot of hands and give a whole lot of hugs and get a few autographs in a silly book here in a couple.
Our family's big on sending out Christmas cards. We believe that if a Christmas card is one way for you to tell somebody in your life, hey, at the time of the holidays, you were important enough for me to send a card.
That's good.
Our family has about over 300 people on that list. And it's people we go back probably 25 to 30 years of friends, people that we're friends with that we don't talk to a lot. We may see them on Facebook or whatever, but we still send a Christmas card. And,
awesome.
You guys are both on that from your mailing things, and so are so many of the streamers. That's honestly, I think what really fostered my relationship with Josh and Taylor, with the WW couple, because I talked to them a little bit and then I sent them a Christmas card and then they reached out to me and then we ended up having dinner together. And to me, it was one of the best dinners I ever had because it was sitting like this, talking real about family, friends, and everything like that. They were able to open up and realize, hey, this isn't some psychopath out there. They were able to get to know me a little bit and feel. And then right after
they're pretty sure. They're not.
Yeah, well, they're pretty sure. Right after that, they made me a mod, and I've been out to do whatever I can for them because they're great people, and you get lucky to do that. And Jeff, to your point, if somebody passing, the one thing that I've realized with turning 50, and maybe you'll feel the same with this when I say it, is that I realize now at 50 years old, 2/3 of my life is probably gone. Okay. I've got a third left, and I need to make sure that every person in my life, be they an acquaintance friend, a close friend, a family member, they need to know, hey, you're important to me. And that's what I work on now hard. So
I mean,
I just gotta say this. Well, you two sound old.
I know. I was gonna say, did you just call me old, buddy? Oh, I am. Never mind. Yeah, 50. Okay, personal real. I have 4 daughters, 2 already married, 2 still live in the house. So of the 2 that still live in the house, 1 turned 18 yesterday.
I did. I saw your birthday. You have a beautiful daughter. I saw your vlog.
Thank you.
I saw that.
I don't understand how the gray happened. I don't understand how my kids are already 18. My baby is almost 16. What the heck?
Yeah.
Yep. Goes quick.
Oh, you never know. I mean, life, it goes fast, man. It really goes.
So you know what the funny part about this is? I'm older than both of you.
And that's something that I knew, and I was shocked when I found that out.
I'm just going to say that it makes me so happy.
You're the young one in this group.
Until about 3 hours ago, I didn't care about age, but my kid turning 18 freaked me out.
I know, right?
The heck? So yeah, if I could, you know what? Cool. Oh, hey, so whatever the name is, if we come up with new names, I want to be the young one. Somehow I'm the young one. In the
You're the young one.
I don't care.
We'll call you the young
Now
one.
it's McDevitt, Myers, and the young one.
Yes, The kid.
The kid. I like the
It's
kid.
pretty good.
Oh my God.
I've had a really fun night, but this is my favorite part.
I love it. The kid. Having 4 daughters, Jeff, you'll appreciate this. So my eldest daughter, who's away at college, when she had her first serious boyfriend come in, this was her senior year of high school. And I didn't have a true warm and fuzzy about this guy. So
I have 4 daughters, and I've never had a warm and fuzzy.
yeah, I like to
Really?
I like to hunt, and I have my toys. I don't hunt as much as I used to, but I do like it. I have a Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum with an 8-inch barrel and a 2.5 Leopold scope on it that I can pluck the wings off a fly at 40 yards without a problem. It thing's so dead on, okay? And it's a cannon going off. So when this kid came over for the first time.
Pete, hold on before it goes away. Downscale, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks, Downscale.
I did not watch the video. My daughter's 8 years old, 9 in October. Congrats. I don't want to think about, oh my gosh, don't. So in a few years, I'm checking that video out.
So
I'll talk to you in 9 years. Please continue. Wait, thank you, Downscale, so much.
Long story short, boy comes over to the house. She tells me he's coming. My living room's set up with a nice little coffee table in there. I make sure that the time that he's arriving, I just happen to be cleaning that pistol. And
You even more.
it's sitting out on the table, and it looks, because it's a coffee table, it looks like it's a cannon sitting out there because it's spit shine clean, right? And he walked in, he came over, and he introduced himself. And I said, hey, sit down for a second. I just left it sitting there. Now, granted, the cylinder was open, so there's no danger in the whole thing. And there was nothing in it. I said,
You'll do better next time.
I took a piece of paper, and I put a circle on the paper, and I put a dot. And I said, I looked at him, I said, it's nice to meet you. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to embarrass anybody, just in case. But I said, sir, let me explain something to you. See this? I said, do you know what this is? He goes, I don't know. It looks like a circle. I said, let me tell you what this is. This is the circle of trust. Currently, you are out here, outside the circle of trust. You're working to get into here. As you work and progress, don't screw it up because you'll never get back in. I said, let me explain one last thing to you. That is my first daughter. I've been in jail. I'm not afraid to go back. And that's where I left it. And all I know is he went downstairs. And when he left about 2 hours later, my daughter closed the door. She looked at me. She says, I don't know what you said to him, but he came down pale white and he didn't talk to me for a half an hour.
Good.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
There.
Yeah. Actually, that's how I actually first introduced my father-in-law that way. I was invited over to the house, and my girlfriend at the time invited me in the house, and I walked in, and he was cleaning a stub nose 357 at the time. He said, and he didn't say hello. He didn't say hi. I mean, I stepped up and kind of walked towards him, stuck out my hand, and I said, good evening, sir. And he said, just what are your intentions with my daughter?
Did he really?
Yeah, he really did. And I grabbed Ivone and I pulled her right in front of me. And I said, they're very good, sir. And I started taking a step back towards the door. Yeah. And to this day, we still talk about that. He's got an amazing sense of humor. He's a great guy. And him and I actually get along really well. We're really good friends.
And is that Mama Mouse's husband or dad?
Yeah. No, dad. No, I'm the husband.
Mama Mouse's
yeah.
dad.
Yeah. He's the one that just had the lung removed. Yeah, he's doing amazing right now.
Good.
Really, really amazing.
That's great to hear. I've been praying for you every day since we talked about that, bud.
I appreciate that.
I've been real clear with the boys in my daughter's lives. I don't care if they're right. I already know they're probably wrong. I don't care. If you make them sad, be faster than freaking me, and you're not. And they might be, but like, I love them now that are my family, but you know, if I'm plenty not nice when I need to not be nice. They're my girls.
Yeah.
And I make no apologies that it does not matter who's right in this situation. Duck faster next time. And
that's great.
That's just all.
My middle daughter Amber has a boyfriend who I like because he's a nice kid, very nice, and he plays baseball. So he's got my thing there. He's at the high school. They broke up for a little bit.
I was a baseball player. That they're not all good guys. Trust me.
Good. There you go. Well, so was I. So we got a lot of common there. They broke up and they got back together about a month ago, and he was over at the house here. He says, "Hey, hello, how you doing? Good to see you." Very respectful. And I said, "Hey, you're back dating Amber again?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Great. I've got 2 cords of wood I got to split. I'm going to need some help. Get a buddy. I'll let you know when we're going to do it." Okay. So To me, I look at it as hired labor, Jeff.
It works. And if they don't stay around, they don't need to be there.
I think we should. I know we're talking, still having fun here, but I think we should cut it off at the 3-hour mark for sure.
My goodness, 3 hours. Oh,
We did it. We're not too far away from that. We still got. I saw a minute ago. It was like 25 people still in the chat. God bless them.
you guys are amazing.
I've sat and watched Steve and those guys. 21 people still. I sat and watched Steve and those guys, and then we'll still have 50, 60, 70 people in the chat at 12:30. It's amazing. It's like, wow, look at all these people. Of course, I'm one of them. I'm one of the idiots that's always telling Steve, no, we're going to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I actually was kind of hoping he would jump in here tonight and give me the same lip that I've given him, but he's also very busy with everything he's got. They're really taking off, and God bless them.
Yeah, they're huge. Good night, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here.
Good night,
Yeah, I
Rachel.
love those guys.
Thank you,
They're,
Rachel.
I met them 3 different times. I think Zip and met them, whatever. Zip and
Rachel, did Rachel fully leave yet? Rachel, my
thinking.
dog is here. If you're still here, I will show you him real quick. I don't know if she's
changing the subject drastically from my story to what Downscale said. I actually love me some Nick Foles. Nick Foles played locally here, Stephenville, right by where I'm at. I'm a huge Nick Foles fan. He was on the wrong team. Downscale. I see. So back to Eagle talk. Changing my subject drastically. I think the Eagles made a mistake. Like I'm being serious. Like Nick, do they win without Foles? The answer is clearly no.
no way.
Do not win that ring. And I'm not saying Foles is a better quarterback than Wentz, but I think I can make that argument. And I know I would be in the minority there. I love Nick Foles.
I'm curious to see what he's going to do with Jacksonville. I really am.
I'm waiting to see.
Is Fournette healthy?
I don't know.
That line's pretty good. That defense is still pretty good. Jalen Ramsey is kind of a putz, but a stud.
Stud. Great way to put it. A putz, but a stud. That's an excellent way to put it.
I mean, it is. But I don't know, man. Foles is good. Like, I like Nick Foles a lot.
Yeah.
Stacy's got his rookie autograph.
Nice.
Does.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
Yeah, Downscale. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should have paid the man and kept him there. I mean, he got paid. Where did he end up? He went Jacksonville. Yeah, we just said that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Jacksonville well enough to know how he'll do there, but I don't know. I
didn't pick that. I didn't pick them. I picked that division. You'll find. We'll talk about it more next week on the actuals. I picked Jacksonville to get beat up on in their division.
I haven't really looked at it, very honestly. Like, I will do that probably this weekend. Hey, Mike Wheeler in the house. What's going on, my friend? Glad to have you here.
Mike Wheeler. Hey, bud.
I don't think that Mike Wheeler never sleeps. He's everywhere. And what a great guy. I'm glad you're here, Mike.
Glad he's here. Now, Mike, you're going to be down there, right, for Galaxy's Edge?
He's going to try. He's going to try to come down to the Beverly Challenge. He wants to come down and meet all of us there. And man, we are actually, Mike, if you really don't realize how excited we all are to meet you.
Yeah.
We really, really, truly are excited.
You can tell because my voice got like a high pitch right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why it sounded like that right there.
That's Mickey excited right there, Mike. That's what.
Yeah, that was better. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to be high pitched right there.
That was better than my co-cells, your deep voice. That was great.
I tell you, my daughters still tell me to this day that anytime they date a new boy, they don't want to come to the house and meet me. And I'm like, that's a good thing. And they're like, no, Dad. I mean, I really want to know. They need to be afraid. They need to. Yeah. They need to have that little thing in the back of their head thinking, what happens if?
Yeah.
It always needs to be there.
There's plenty of people on this planet that I hope like me. I don't know. I'll just leave it there. Dudes that might date my daughters aren't on that dang list. They're not even close to that list. Matter of fact, I have made a mistake if they do it before the marriage. Just say it that way, and really after then, that's fine too. Like, I love the two that are in my family now. I love them very much, but they're still my daughters. I don't care if they're right, and I don't apologize.
So
my wife called me Pistol Pete after that whole thing happened.
My wife was their only daughter, and when we got married, my father-in-law has 6 brothers,
Hmm.
And after the wedding, you have the receiving line.
Yeah.
My wife called it the threat line because
I like
every one of those brothers came through and they shook my hand and leaned into me and they said, "You heard her. We have property and a backhoe." I'm like, okay.
That's great. What a story.
It was every one of them had that conversation with me. And so my wife called it.
Well, that's the way it should be. That's totally the way it should be. I work with kids. I'm sorry. There's 22 in the chat, 23 in the chat. I might piss off everyone right now. Violence solves everything, people. And I've never punched someone outside an athletic contest in my life.
Hashtag violence solves everything.
Sorry.
We've gone down a whole new path.
What do you like? You guys, I don't want to talk about work, but I'm pretty sure I know what you guys do. Tell me I'm wrong.
Steve, wherever you are when you watch this replay, please ignore that hashtag when you meet my son.
I don't know. I'm not saying go around and be a jerk. That's not what I'm saying, but I mean, I'm just going to shut up now because I don't want everyone to leave.
When we were kids, we were more worried about coming home and facing our parents than having to deal with the police. I'm not worried about getting arrested. I'm worried about what Dad's going to do to me when I get home.
Or you know what I was worried about? Every dad from wherever I was doing something stupid to my house, telling my mom and dad what I was doing. Because that's the way.
Yeah, that's the way we were brought up.
And I'm not meaning to ignore the moms. I just, I said dad. Like,
well, if you think about it, the moms were worse because they did talk all the time. So you couldn't do anything. You couldn't make it
Miranda
into the neighborhood.
Yeah, Mrs. Miranda was talking to my mom before I knew what I was doing wrong, and I love her for it now.
Yeah. One of the things that I've done with my kids, and Kelly, you can probably relate because of some of the backgrounds and people we've worked with in time. I can actually look at my kids and give them a different facial and get them so upset to the point where they know I'm so mad. My daughters will cry. Preston will shut down and go pale. And it's just because when they were kids, I instituted the fact I'm not going to, but if I need to, I will do what I have to make you do the right thing, to get your life on track, to prevent you from getting hurt, to prevent you from getting involved with those things you shouldn't have. And to this day, you'll see this, Jeff, when we get down there to Disney, I can actually not sign language, but I have my own things, gestures and all that I do with my kids. I can have my kids, I'll tell this 10-second story. Preston and his entire team were up in Hershey, PA. There's where we're parked, there's a football field, and then there's where all the boys are warming up. And our field is like behind us to play. His coach goes, "Oh God, they're starting us early. I got to find a way to get all the way around that football field." And I said, "No, you don't. Watch this." And I just yelled, "Yep," real loud. Preston stopped on a dime, and I went like this twice. And he turned it, and I said, "Everybody." And I saw him turn to his team and go, "We got to go." And they all came running. And three parents went, "How the heck did you do that?"
I really think that's one of the many things that we're missing right now. I mentioned Mrs. Miranda. Mr. Miranda had a whistle. Like when you did
nice.
He could whistle from Oregon. I lived in San Diego. And we all knew, somebody's got to go home right now, so I better get home right now.
Yep. My dad had the 2-finger whistle.
Yeah. He had a good whistle, by the way, but I don't know.
RV into Disney says I could not date until I was 18. I met my husband soon after turning 18 and married him. That's awesome. Congratulations. I guess my parents saved me from the silliness at Dole Whip Dad. So that's fantastic. Stacy Rogers, my dad always called me by my middle name. If he actually called me Stacy, I knew I was in trouble. That's true too. My parents were a lot that way. That's great points. And
RVing says no, Jeff, not at Disney Toontown. That's true. No violence in Toontown. That's true. That made me mad. Fantastic Chronicles wants to. We're gonna talk a little UFC on occasion because I like it. If you guys like it, that's cool.
Yep.
If not, I'll pretend. But Fantasmic Chronicles says off topic a little bit, but who wins if Lesnar returned to the octagon, Cormier or Lesnar? I'm pretty sure I could take Cormier right now. He's like 3,000. Dude, I don't get Cormier. But I really don't get Lesnar.
He's just doing it for the money.
Lesnar would get blasted. I don't get his popularity. He did win. He won the title, but
Mike Wheeler. Did you see Mike Wheeler's comment? About how Pete is Dave from the storage wood. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. When you did it, I thought, where is that from? That's what it was. What else? If I'm assigning you have a tank, you win. Exactly. Stacey says, no, Jeff, when it comes to the girls in your family, for me, my nieces, for you, your daughters. Oh, there you go. Truer words in a response. You know, here's the thing, too. Like, I still want my girls to know that it doesn't matter where they're at. There's a couple people, but certainly I'm on that list that are going to come no matter what and go through that wall for them if need be. So you got to have confidence. And until you have confidence that you can handle it yourself, you know, you got to know that somebody will take care. I think that's family. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that out.
I think a lot of it has to do with trust too. That was one of the things that I really instilled in my kids, that you come to me and tell the truth, we'll work it out. You don't come to me and tell the truth, or I find out from somebody else,
yes,
we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
And when we established that early on, my girls would come tell me anything.
That's
so good, and it's awesome.
Yeah. You know, you see, well, everybody jokes and laughs a little bit on some of the streams where Preston's in, where he's, you know, hello, Mr. Steve, hello, Mr. This. You know, even Nick from Magical News Live, who's been fantastic. I mean, Nick and I have become pretty good friends through this time. You know, Preston is literally 2.5 years younger than Nick, I think. Wow. Nick just turned 16. Preston, 3.5 years. But he's Mr. Nick. He said it tonight. He said a thing, hey, Mr. Nick, can't wait to see you. So he was just brought up to respect.
I love that.
And that's, you know, the way he's done, which is a, you know, great thing.
You know, I work with kids, and I tell people this all the time. I tell parents this, but I tell kids this too. With all the changes as it relates to respect in the community, it gives people more of an advantage when they have it. You're going to, like, I believe you're going to have more haves and have-nots, and that's not just about money. It's about if you give a little respect, you're going to have more advantages than the average bear now, because so few do. I think it's easy. Again, I know I'm the crazy lunatic. I think it's easier to parent now than it ever was, because most people stink at it. And so, you know, if you're trying to get that job, you can have that unfair advantage to get it. And I just think it's easier now, where the world's saying, oh, it's so hard to do everything. I don't know. I think winners win, and I think losers lose. And I think it's easier to stand out now. And your son stands out in these streams just by simply saying, Mr. Fill in the blank. I don't know. Does that make any sense? I feel like
it does. You make absolute sense.
And he gets some of the respect that he's gotten, because I've gotten in with the right people. Okay, first off, I've made friends with the right people. You know, the fact that Dev took to him right off the bat, and, you know, was making friends with him, and, you know, he came in not too long after we met, and he's like, Dev's following me on Instagram. Dev's following me, you know, and just the stuff like that. So he's true. You know, the way he does have a good sense of humor. I sometimes have to pull him back, because, you know, the night that Steve and the guys, Steve and Walt, were doing, which I think to me was one of the greatest, not just YouTube, but overall sports talks that I've ever seen. So articulate, so well handled on
the Tebow Kaepernick thing.
The Tebow Kaepernick thing, yes.
I'm kind of bummed. They invited me on that a while ago, but I didn't get to do it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go back to Sports Night on Steve. I believe it's on Walt's channel or Steve's, one of the two. I think they run it on Walt's channel, actually, and it's on Saturday nights. And they did an amazing job with it. So articulate, handled a very tough topic, so perfect. But I was sitting in here, and I was actually, you know, I'm a mod for him, and I'm sitting here watching. And I got so caught up in the talk, it was so good, that I actually forgot about stream for a minute. And the next thing I know, he's here. He walks in, and he's getting ready to start blasting Steve about a plastic belt. And I had to grab his phone. I'm like, this is not the time or place. Let me teach you an education. You're laughing, Kelly. I would have gotten killed. I could see Dave would have driven here from Pennsylvania and smacked me around like the Three Stooges. You know, he would have come down and helped Steve out. So you just have to teach and learn, but it's a great thing. I mean, I love seeing Preston grow and see him talk to you guys. I mean, he sat in here tonight quietly with his computer and the earphones, listening to what we were doing, wearing his fedora, his Disney fedora that he's going to wear down to Disney. And God bless him. It's a beautiful thing.
Love it. It's funny you say that. I saw a Haunted Mansion fedora the other day. I thought, ooh, I might be a fedora guy with that thing. That was cool. Downfield said the amount of fake is so great currently that if someone even shows a little bit of real, not fake, then it's vastly accepted, mostly due to all the viewing and hiding and waiting to agree. I totally agree with that. I work with kiddos a lot, and we have a relationship with another nonprofit where kiddos who can't keep a job, get a job, whatever, come work for us for a while. One of the kiddos who's working for us now, he got fired working at McDonald's after 3 hours.
What?
McDonald's, yeah. So there's such, how do I say this? There's such a percentage of the current generation that's not being parented. And if that annoys people, I just don't care, because it's just the truth. And I think everyone knows it. And it doesn't mean they're not able. It means they haven't been coached. I was blessed. I had a whole bunch of men in my life who had what I wanted, playing time. I wanted to be the quarterback. I wanted to be the pitcher. I wanted to be the shortstop, fill in the blank. And so because I had something I wanted and they had something I wanted, the ability to let me play or not, I learned early not to achieve for them, to serve them. I mean, it's a weird way to say that, but I coached high school sports. I coached high school baseball for years, and the freshman team was the team I had for most of my time there. And everyone was a pitcher and a shortstop that first day of tryouts. Everyone was a pitcher and a shortstop. So my speech every first day of every year would be, I've got 16 jerseys, or I've got 18 jerseys, or whatever I had. I don't need 18 shortstops, and I will not have 18 pitchers. If your dad was the all-star coach and you were the all-star, thanks. Look to your right, look to your left. That's the same. And they live in this world where we just need to give them a chance. Like this kiddo at McDonald's, he had no idea what he did wrong. Like he came to me and I said to him, why'd you get fired after 3 hours? I have no idea. That's the problem. He wasn't lying. He had no idea. And so at the top level, everybody thinks they're Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. At the bottom level, they have no idea why they got fired from McDonald's in 3 hours. Because I think what Downscale said, because we have this fake. What we need, boy, I'm on such a soapbox tonight. What we need is some truth. right? Sometimes, like for me, it's that American Idol thing. Like I don't watch American Idol. What's the guy, Simon? Yeah, I love that dude. I would watch that first week when everybody thought they were Celine Dion because their mommy told them they were. And he would go up there and say, you know what? You suck. Maybe you can write a book or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why we don't live in the real world. What am I talking about? How did I get on the soapbox?
Talking about kids. I mean, you know that I'm a HR manager for a Fortune 500 company. I deal with people all the time. I hire people all different ages and ranges. And what freaked me out last year was when I realized that people I was hiring had never lived in the 1900s. That freaked me out a little bit. Think about that for a minute. Let that one soak in just for a second. And so I see, a lot of people say, well, this generation, and it's not necessarily this generation. It is different groups. Yeah. Because I have people from this generation that come into me and work, and they want to work, and they have a good work ethic, and they're hard workers, and they do a great job. And then I have some of them that come to me and go, what do you mean I can't come in when I want to come in and go home when I want to go home?
The expectations are so drastically different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Kelly, from your position, you're telling me that today when I interviewed somebody, I said, hey, you're really hot. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean, it's 108 outside.
Probably not. You might get a date, but you're not going to have a job.
HR, I would hate that.
I'll tell you what. So with what I do for my company, I'm not an HR person, but I work directly with them. I have a newfound respect after the last 2 years of having to deal not only with HR, but dealing with HR with kind of the government too, entitled with my stuff. It is a unique animal, and those people, yes, all the training and everything that they have to go through to figure it out. And Kelly, I'm sure with your position, you fully get this. It's amazing because what I found myself doing now after working with them for 2 years, I go into every situation and I'm starting to analyze the situation from back here before I even go into it. And then I'm reading what's going on. And the other day, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I got to get back into my job. I'm sitting here analyzing. But God bless those people. Kelly, you for what you do. And my people at my office couldn't live without them.
Appreciate that. Here's what I've been finding out. And if you don't understand that you should always learn, keep learning, always learn. You can always get better at what you do.
Amen.
You've got to realize that for starters. But one of the things that I've been learning in this role that I've had for 4 years is ask why. Because these people that we're dealing with now, it comes out of their mouth, but they're not hearing the words they're saying. And so when they come in and they say something to me, and I'll go, well, why do you feel that's happening? Why is this happening? Why? And you start letting them talk about it, then they start actually hearing what they're saying.
That's good.
Because I'm dealing with things right now, like people are coming into my office going, so-and-so looked at me funny.
Oh my God.
I'm from HR and I'm going,
are you going to be all right? See, you would fire, if I was in HR, I would get fired. Home Depot and HR, I would get fired day one. I am not handy and I don't care how you feel. I just don't understand it.
It's just weird, and being in my position, you got to listen. You do a lot of listening, because if you don't listen, you're not communicating.
So
you gotta listen.
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah, go.
I want to share something with my good friends here. I just got a text message from my daughter. So my daughter is an incoming junior at Catonsville High School, okay, the local high school, and we're doing a lot of college stuff out there. She actually had her first college email her the other day on her own, with us not even talking to him. It was somebody that saw her and called her, which was great. But the one school she really wants to go to, the University of Delaware coach, who she sent an email to, and saw her at a camp, who she didn't think. She called me last night and said, I don't think they're going to.
Flacco land, by the way, right?
Huh? What's that?
Flacco land.
Joe Flacco land, yeah. She said, and I'm going to read this text. University of Delaware coach just emailed me back and said that due to NCAA rules, she can't talk to me till September 1st because that's when I'm a junior. And my response to her was, she recognized you. That's all that mattered. September 1st, hang tight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great thing, and I'm very proud of my daughter, and I'm glad I got to experience that with you two guys.
That's cool.
That's very cool. Very cool.
So Kelly, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No, that was a good reason to interrupt. That's awesome, man. I love it. Anyway, it's just if nowadays you have to. Some of the craziest things. I mean, we had a guy that went all the way to the CEO of the company with, I shouldn't have got fired. Well, why did you get fired? Well, I got fired because I missed too much work. Okay. And he said, well,
we meant to give you a raise. Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah. He goes, here's the deal. You should hire more people, and I should only come to work when I want to come to work.
And they mean every word of it, right?
They do. And they wholeheartedly have this belief that a company can be ran off people showing up when they want to and only work when they want to. But here's the thing. I want you to pay me a lot more money, and I want to work less hours.
Don't you think that goes
me
back
too.
to
Good luck with that.
Don't you think it goes back to Jeff's point about how they're raised nowadays differently than when we were raised?
And that's my favorite part, because there's managers that I work with that are our age, and they're all going, oh, these people. And I'm like, hold on a second. Let's just step back a minute. These are your kids.
That's right. That's right.
So maybe this is our fault. Maybe we had something to do with this.
Definitely agree with that.
Brought this culture upon ourselves, starting off with, we want to give our kids more than what we have. So yes, I know you're 9, but you need a cell phone. Yes, I know you're 9, but you need, maybe, okay, you need a participation medal. You showed up today. Yeah. Thank you so much for getting out of bed and eating breakfast. Here you go.
Well, please don't go participation medal. I'll lose my mind.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's funny. Like I remember, so I took over an organization 9 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever, that was broken. They hired me because they were broken, and they knew they were broken. And I walk in, and I couldn't walk by somebody without them, hey, Lynn, what's going on? Without them telling me how I feel, how they felt. And I'm like, I care how they feel. I do. Hey, how was your weekend is a real question. I really care. And it's not an opportunity to whine and cry about how the world is not fair. This is going to go too long. We're already 3:13. I care about how people feel. I have no idea why people think people are supposed to care so much about how they feel. Here's the truth. Do your job well. Do your job in such a way that your boss, whoever he or she is, needs you to do your job more than they need to do theirs. And then you move up. What's hard about that? The truth is we're lying to kiddos. And again, I hope this doesn't sound political, but we're so successful in America. Our economic system, even done wrong, is so successful that you got 3 TVs, 2 cars, 2 microwaves that don't even work. You've got everything you need, and you think you're poor, and you're mad at your boss for not giving you an opportunity to take his or her job because you're a fool. Create something. Create value. Do more for your boss than he or she expects.
Yes.
You get everything you want. But sitting there saying, "Oh, I don't feel good today," and how you can't fire, dude. Here's how you fire somebody. Don't sit down. This is my decision and my decision alone. You're fired. Tell Kelly and HR I said hi on your freaking way out. You know what's hard about that?
Jeff, it's better when you let them convince themselves that it's probably not the best thing staying around and they resign, and then it takes all the liability out.
I'm too arrogant. Like I'm really good. I don't even want to say this. I got
a story for you. I'm
happy to tell people it's my decision.
Kelly will probably lose his mind, but I did tell a guy one time. I sat down with him and I was so mad with him. I said, literally, I need you to fire yourself right now.
I haven't said those words, but I like it. I'm close.
Yeah. Hey,
I tell people work. There's 2 things that I try to tell people. One, I tell these people it's a very simple process. You want to be successful here, come to work.
Do good.
Yeah.
Do good. You're not doing good today.
You're going to have a bad day. Give me your max effort for that day. You're going to have a good day. Give me max effort for that day. That's all I'm asking of you. Come to work and give max effort every day, and you will be successful.
That's even. I like that max effort, but give a good effort. How about just give a good effort? Like, I don't expect you to be an A, like, even most of the time, but some of the time. At least be a B, right? Don't be a D. Like, if people don't want to walk by you because you're just a putz, I feel like I used that word earlier, so I'll use it again.
Yeah.
Stay home that day. And by the way, don't call me and tell me that your grandma died 14 times in 1 year. I just don't think it's Jesus and she's resurrecting I don't understand. Just say, I'm staying home today.
Yes, she is. We need to get her on the stream. We could really get a lot.
It'd be good.
I might actually get to 100 followers first. I'm trying to get to 100 just so I can keep my name. But if we could get a resurrection on here, God, through the roof.
I hate to say this, but I have a very strong belief in that people need to serve.
Amen.
And whether they serve in the military or they serve in like Peace Corps or do something like that, because they've got to get out of this bubble we're in and around here. I was in a country where your status depended on where your outhouse was on the mountain.
Yeah.
And if you were considered to be a very prestigious person, you lived at the highest point of the mountain.
I mean, that's pretty blunt, right?
Yeah.
Because literally it runs downhill. And so if you were at the bottom of the hill, you didn't have a clean outhouse.
Yeah.
And that is how they established the hierarchy.
Wow.
in that country. And it was just blatantly, wow, okay, you can't get more honest than that right there.
Yeah.
And for people not to understand what, we get, I talk about this before with other people where I've had people come to me and they go, well, I'm scared. And I look at them and I go, what are you scared of? Yeah. Oh, I'm scared this person's going to hurt me or this is going to happen. And I kind of look at them and I have to step back a moment because I'm like, you don't know what fear is. You're scared of losing your iPhone. That's what you're scared of. You're scared of Wi-Fi not being free. That's what you're scared of. Don't know if you know fear. Not until you've been in some of the situations maybe where I've seen overseas where people are so frightened from aggressors that they knock their teeth out with rocks and they cut their faces so that other soldiers don't harm them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean when I say we're so blessed here. Like I mean, I'm happy that we're so blessed here, but we're so blessed. I mean, that's that whole first world problems, right? Like you're better. I don't care what anybody in the stream makes. I don't care what you guys make. Everybody who's on this stream right now, on the three of us and everybody in here, and we got 60 likes. Everybody who's been in here is in the top 1% of earners in the history of the freaking planet. And we're blessed beyond measure, and that we need to find this. Like, there's these arguments you see. I feel like on Facebook and other places where we have these silly arguments on why we're more offended, or what's the right way to say this? Like in, I don't want to go politics, but there seems to be in politics this need to be more oppressed, and it makes me sick. Yeah, and here's, I'm going to get a little weird here potentially, but here's what I believe. What you say out of your mouth, you believe. You say it enough, you believe it. And that's true on the good and the bad. Like, if you feel like you're oppressed and you keep saying, oh, I'm oppressed, somebody's keeping me down, you actually believe that crap after a while. But if you believe that you can do whatever you want, you believe that too. And one is true and one is false, but you believe it. It's just like the guy who says, those who can, those who can't, those who think they can, those who think they can't. It's that simple. Like, you guys don't have some skill set that is impossible to attain. They just decide to be victims. And I would hate your job, Kelly. I would. I'm glad you're doing it. I would hate it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's the good moments where somebody comes into my office and says, you made a difference in my life. Those are the ones I look for.
I love that.
That's a fantastic line. When I took my daughter down to Texas Tech, I sent a picture. I know I put it on Instagram or whatever. As I tell Preston, put it on InstaChat, TeleChat, put it on something. Let him try to figure that all out for me as I'm trying to do. I always said I'd never sound like my old man. The other day I was like, put it on InstaChat. Preston's like, what the hell are you talking about, Dad? But I took a picture of my wife, myself, my daughter in front of the seal for Texas Tech. And I sent it to the owner of my company. And all I said was, you made this happen.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
And I felt that. And I can't wait. I'm going to see the owner of my company, who is let me make sure I say this right. A Marine is never retired. You are always a Marine. So I will see the owner of my company, who is a Marine, who I cannot wait to shake his hand, put my arm around his back and say, hey, thank you. I love you. And I say that my owners of my company, I have that much of respect for. And I'm lucky to have that. I get up every day and love what I do and love the people I serve, because I'm serving those who serve and their families. So to me, it's so one funny note. I thought about this, Jeff, when you were talking about, people that they don't remember stuff like this and that from the past. So today I was calling one of my employees, and Preston's been with me all day. I don't know what I've done.
Thank you, Expedition Greg. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much, Expedition Greg. I was just sending you a note. It means so much. Tthank you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Greg. The support
is
truly appreciated. So I'm sitting next to Preston, and I'm calling one of my employees, and it rings, and I get a busy signal. Now, I haven't heard a busy signal on a phone in forever. Yeah. But, I mean, it's been years. Well, it rang. Preston literally goes, Dad, what the heck is that? And I thought for a minute, I said, oh, my God. He's never heard a busy signal in his entire 12 years of being on this earth.
Yeah.
Because of call waiting and cell phone and everything.
Voicemail, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so I said to him, I said, when you go to Graham's house and she's got the dial-up phone? He goes, yeah. He goes, I said, that's what a busy signal is. The dial-up phones used to have busy signals when somebody was on it.
Dial-phone, oh my gosh. Rotary.
If you want to see something funny, you can go to YouTube and put in teens try to dial rotary phone. And his dad walked into his sons, and he's got two teenage sons, 16, 17 years old, and he's got a towel over an old rotary dial phone. And he takes the towel off, hands him a piece of paper, and says, you have 8 minutes to dial this number.
8 minutes?
It's hysterical.
I got to check that out.
Hysterical. Because they're trying to figure out
gratification. Look at RV, and that's a great point, RV.
Crazy.
CK, thanks for being here.
Thank you,
so
Kevin.
I know this is running late, and I know we went way off topic.
Remember we said we weren't going to go 3 hours?
I'm really glad I bought a comfortable chair. I went and bought a new chair.
So I'll just say it. My chair is not comfortable. I need a better chair. And I need like it's a gamer chair you got there, right?
Yeah, I went to Staples today. Again,
There you go. I need to know. Okay.
yeah, $149 on deal. They're $299 on deal for $149, and they had another one there that was like 249, which actually had cooling units blowing on me. And I'm like, of course, Preston's like, let's get this one. I'm like,
first world problems right there. Oh my goodness.
So we got this, and it's comfortable. It's nice because my older one, I've had it for so long, and I realized I needed to upgrade because I'd been here. So I figured I was going to be doing this with you fine gents. It was time to get a new chair, and it's got Ravens colors. It's a purple hint. So
I feel like tonight I've decided to get the what's the NFL package called? Whatever the NFL package.
NFL ticket.
The new chair. So
let me tell you,
$400 down now.
That thing is money because you can get the app on your phone and you can watch. The only thing you can't do, like for me, I can't watch the Ravens right here in Baltimore, but I can watch everybody else.
Well, that's the game that's on, though. That's the game, unless they don't sell out, and everybody sells out.
Well, it's just the way it is. So, like for you, you can watch all the San Diego games, but I don't think you'll get Dallas. So
but Dallas is going to be on CBS every week.
On CBS, so there you go. Yeah. But I love it on my phone. I travel. When I'm traveling, I'm watching the game.
That's true. That makes sense. For me, I watch a lot of stuff online, so I'll watch whatever the games are, and then I'll be watching stuff online. And there's so many highlights now. I've just talked myself out of it every year. I got the baseball package a few years ago. But there's so much free baseball and I'm busy. Like I don't have time to watch. Well, I was about to say I don't have time to watch a 3-hour baseball game, but guess what? We've been on here for 3.5 hours. So I guess I probably do.
Let me tell you one thing, Jeff, one thing that I used to love to do and I miss it is your announcer that retired. Vin Scully.
That's Dever.
I had the MLB app. Huh?
I have a good story, but it's too long. Next time.
Okay. Well, we'll get that next time. Definitely. I want to hear it. I got the baseball package, the MLB thing on my phone, just so I could lay in bed at night and listen to Vin Scully call games. And now the one thing that our owner did here, Angelos, that I hated was he fired or didn't rehire John Miller. So I go and listen to a lot of the Giants games because I love John Miller. I'll lay in bed, falling asleep, being on the East Coast. It's perfect. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm falling asleep to baseball. Like heaven to me.
I loved him too when he did the ESPN game, and I think Joe Morgan might be the worst announcer in the history of this planet, but Miller was so good that it was okay. And yes, I am mad at Joe Morgan for hitting the home run against my Dodgers in '83, but that's not why. He's actually a horrible announcer. But
yeah, Mike, I got to answer Mike Wheeler real quick. So no, Mike, you are right. The only reason I was hiding in the bathroom that night was Kelly's fault. First off.
Wait a minute, I had something to do with it, but it wasn't all mine.
I was being a little loud, and my wife was we were in a hotel room, and I do joke about my wife, but God bless her, she's a saint. If it wasn't for her, my kids aren't in school. It had nothing to do with me, and she does put up with all of my antics. A lot of the stuff you see with me in the chat, that is my personality, and I will find a way to joke and have fun about anything. I one time went as far as to make missing persons posters for one of my best friends. They were 3 feet by 5 feet, and I hung them in the entire town, and they ended up getting the police and a search party to look for them. So, yeah. So I will do crazy stuff, but my wife puts up with it. But that night, I ended up in the bathroom trying to keep it quiet, brushing my teeth, listening to my 5 kindergarten buddies at that time. So, yes, I did. So no bathroom tonight. I'm in my office.
Downscale is as right as anyone has ever been. You're right. Joe Morgan is the second worst. Joe Buck is the worst announcer of all time.
I like Joe Buck on football, though. For some reason with Aikman, I agree with you, but I don't know. I loved his dad. Well, first off, I did
too. Okay. But even though he followed Ozzie Smith home run against my Dodgers too. But
I think he tries to be too much like his dad in baseball.
I don't know what I don't like about him, but I really don't like him. He comes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like talking about people I don't like as much, but I really don't like him.
We have to get him on as a guest one night. See if we can.
Yeah, there you go. I'm rooting for you. I missed listening to Harry Callis and Richie Ashburn. Nice.
Oh, great call, Stacy. That is a great call.
Harry Callis, good. I don't know that I've ever heard Ashburn. I know him as a player, obviously. I actually have an Ashburn autograph on a. Why do I have that? Well, that's a whole other thing. But
Ashburn's got that Rob Fuzz smooth part to him, the deep tone.
Really?
Yeah, Ashburn's nice. The guy from the Tigers was the same way. I can't think of his name. did the Tigers games for years. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Hey
But
Google, iconic Detroit Tigers baseball announcer.
where's Zip when I need him?
On the website usatoday.com. Allen was hired by the Detroit Tigers as the public address announcer at Comerica
Hey Google,
Park.
stop. No. It's gonna bug me. I know what you're talking about.
I'll find out from Zip will know as soon as I say it. God, I can't think of his
I'm
name.
looking it up now. I can't wait that long.
He was phenomenal. That guy. He was another good one. That
Bernie Hartwell.
Bernie, there it is. Thank you. He
Noted
was
really great.
smooth. He was smooth.
Ben's the best ever. Ben's the best. When I die and God talks to me, it's gonna sound quite a bit like Vin Scully. I have no doubt.
You know who else I like too? And I'm not a Yankees fan, but I used to love listening to the old Yankees announcers.
The stadium announcer.
Huh?
Or-
The stadium announcer is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now batting, Derek Jeter. Yeah, he was awesome. But if you go back to some of the old announcers, like back in the time when Mantle and Maris were going at it, and you listen
I don't know who that was.
Tony Kubek was one of them.
Okay.
You know, but they were phenomenal to listen to. Very smooth. One of the movies that I really love, and my drive Preston nuts watching it, is 61 that Billy Crystal did. If you haven't seen it, it's an older movie.
Yeah, it was great.
I love that movie, and listening to those guys redo Kubek and those guys and Rizzuto, and all those guys. Scooter.
Expedition Greg says Michael Buffer. I've met Bruce Buffer.
Michael, yeah, the Buffers are good.
I'm more of a Bruce guy. I'm more of an MMA than boxing, but
those guys got paid to do that too. I'm talking change.
I
heard what Vince paid him to come do for the WWE, and I was just astounded by the numbers.
I went to a UFC. I went to a few, but I don't know how well you guys know it. But when Rampage Jackson knocked out Liddell, I was there, and the next day it was that's a whole story. It was amazing. But the next day we were leaving, and a bunch of the UFC guys were leaving. I met Joe Rogan. I met Buffer. I got to tell them both they had the best jobs in the world.
That's
and
cool.
They know it. They did.
That's cool. I see that. Who was it? Dances with Goofy was brought up. Was it okay? It was Harry Carey. They were talking about the Cubs.
Harry Carey was greatness.
Harry Carey.
I
don't know what's going on.
I loved that guy.
He was awesome.
I remember exactly where I was when I learned that he passed away, and I was sad. Actually, I went to Chicago, and I didn't really care about anything but going to one of the places that Harry Carey owned, so I could just buy the shirt. I mean, that's how much I love that guy.
Have either of you been to Wrigley?
I've been outside of Wrigley. I didn't get to go to a game.
Okay, I haven't been there yet. Have either of you been to Fenway?
I have not. I've never been to Boston yet.
I've been lucky with my job because I control most of the Northeast for my company to go up there 4 times to Fenway. And
I love American history too, so that's like I'll knock off 2 baseball and American history. I mean, I love that. So I must go to Boston.
You got to go. And when you're sitting there, I went there with a client, and I'm sitting out close to I was on the corner end close to the monster. But what went through my mind, I actually got lost in the game for a second. I almost got hit with the ball because it came flying. I wasn't paying attention. I got lost in the fact that
good seats though.
Decent seats, but I'm looking at the grass and I'm thinking Yaz, Mantle, Mays, Maris, Ruth, Gehrig, Cobb. They all played here.
Yeah.
They played in this cylinder.
Yeah.
And I'm literally drooling at the fact of I got to go on the field that day. I did the tour and I walked on the field and everything. And I hijacked some of the grass. I'm not gonna lie. I have it taped to a thing. I saved it because it was Fenway. Just
cool.
Think about the history that was there.
Yeah.
That I can't stand the Red Sox. I hope they lose all the time. Same way I am with the Yankees because I'm a diehard Oriole fan. But I respect the legacy and the history. It's like, it was just. I mean, I had goosebumps the whole time I was there.
I'm a Dodgers nut, and there was so I think I shared. I used to coach high school baseball, and it was in California, San Diego, California. Hey, Dallas County, what's going on? And my head. So when I was the freshman baseball coach that I think I mentioned for years, my varsity baseball coach was my coach, and he was a Dodger fan, and he had a pass for Dodger games. We were in San Diego, so I didn't use it a lot, but I used it plenty, like 10 times. Well, it was a special pass for the press box, and so as a Dodger fan, I'm talking college, so I was in my early 20s, and I would get to sit up there where the Dodger icons were, and I saw Campanella. Never talked to Campanella, but I saw him many times. I saw Newcomb, never really talked to him. Hey, how are you? But nothing like that. Saw Koufax. I mean, and for a Dodger fan,
That's
like
awesome.
that was like heaven. It was amazing. And so many more that I'm not remembering.
I will admit this to you, Jeff. 3 things. One, I want to get to Chavez Ravine, so maybe that's something I do with you and
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And Steve, I'd love to do
next year.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I am a huge, now I've never seen him play, well, never seen him play live, obviously, one in my lifetime, but I've watched what's available, a lot of it on YouTube. I'm a huge Jackie Robinson fan.
Oh, me too.
I do have a Brooklyn Dodgers hat. It's one of my few hats outside the Orioles that I have. And yes, that one with the B, exactly. And I will tell you that the one, again, a baseball history regret. God, I wish we as a people could have seen all the talent that was in the Negro Leagues.
Oh man, absolutely.
So many people. I mean, they're saying that Jackie wasn't even the best player out there. We had, the team here in Baltimore, and I know Leon Day. I sat and met Leon Day one time and listened to him talk about Satchel Paige and Jackie and all these guys, and it was just amazing.
I have a Satchel Paige autograph.
Oh, I'm marking out right now. That is awesome.
It's amazing. I'll pull it out and show you guys on the stream tonight. My dad was a Cardinals fan. He actually he was a vendor on the stadium. He met them all. So when I was in St. Louis, I feel like I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry.
I'm laughing at Stacy's post there about, do you guys know that the Philly Fanatic is technically a Muppet?
Whatever. That's why I like the Philly Fanatic.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. That was great.
No, okay. So I went to St. Louis for a work conference too, and it was during baseball season, but the Cardinals were out of town. So me and a guy went and did the the stadium tour, and there's these sweet old guys who give the tour, and he pulled me aside. He's showing us all this stuff, and there was some stuff for the St. Louis Browns, and I have in '44 the Browns played the Cardinals, and I have a World Series press pin from the Browns that year, and I have Satchel Paige's autograph and a few other cool things. That's awesome. I told him about that, and he said he was part of the St. Louis Browns fan club, and he started telling me all these stories, and he met Satchel Paige years ago and all that. But you're talking about some of the great players in the Negro Leagues. Satchel Paige was elite, and we don't even know how old he was when he's pitching. There's 48, there's 52. Yeah. Josh Gibson, they talk about hitting a ball hard. I mean, obviously there wasn't a lot of it's mythical. They
said his ball used to drop 8 inches on average.
There's so many of those guys, and I don't know. I'm so glad. I don't know. Part of it becomes the lore of baseball, which is part of what I love because I like the analytics a lot. I like the launch angle stuff and how I like that we can narrow it down. But I also like that. I mean, there was years that we had an argument if the ball really curved for years. I mean, of course it does. Now we laugh at that, but I remember being a kid where there was still some old timers who would swear that the ball didn't curve. So I don't know. Part of that kind of added to the lore, but
I got something that'll add to the lore. So in high school, to help me get ready to hopefully go to college and go pro, and that's another story for another day. But the greatest thing happened. My dad went and found a guy who lived in Baltimore, and asked him to help me with my pitching, and that gentleman was one of the persons who backed up Yogi Berra, and he played with Ruth when he was a rookie. And now that we were talking over 35 years ago now, but it was an amazing thing to sit and talk with a guy at 16 who actually played in the big leagues 1 year with Babe Ruth.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Angels had a coach for years. There was I'm not thinking of his name. I knew him back in the day, and he was in their dugout for a year. He was a roommate of Ruth. That he was the Angels bench coach for years. And wow. I grew up in Southern California. I don't remember his name, but they used to talk about it all the time. But that's another neat thing, like those generations that just barely touch, that keep the connection. Like, I love that.
People probably think it's weird, but I'm going to a meeting in Dallas with my company in the near future, and my boss is like, "Do you want to get something to eat somewhere?" I said, "No." I said, "I want to go to Mickey Mantle's grave." And he said, "What?" I said, "Mickey Mantle is buried in a tomb or whatever you want to call it, and it's right in the heart of Dallas. And I want to do 2 things. I want to drive through Dealey Plaza, and I want to go pay my respects to one of my favorite baseball players of all time."
So I live in the DFW area. I live in Fort Worth. So when you're in Dallas, let me know. But I don't
Our office is in Addison, Jeff.
Oh, I know Addison.
Okay.
I'm in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Mickey Mantle Grave. Yeah, you're right.
It's white. I've already looked it up. I want to go there, and I just want to put my hand on it, and I just want to think to myself, thank you, because
Wow.
as a kid watching stuff, and now on YouTube, when you go back and just 2 nights ago, I laid in bed watching the 52 World Series, 52 or 53. It was like Yankees, Dodgers, or something like that, and I don't remember. But
for 55, the Dodgers won, but that's a whole other thing.
it might have been. I was one of those in the 50s, but it was just
Okay, I know where this is.
laying in bed, listening to the announcer saying, "And here comes Mickey Mantle, 1 for 2 today." It's just
You ever watch the old home run derby shows? They used to be on.
I love those. With hitting it over the hedge, they're hitting it into somebody's backyard. I never understood that.
That park in LA called
Yeah.
Wrigley Field. It's not there anymore, but very cool. Yeah, I didn't know this was here, Preston Hollow. So that is right down the road from Preston Hollow, where all the rich people, the Bushes, live, and just all the rich Texans.
That's where that cemetery is.
So yeah, really close, like 2 blocks from Preston Hollow. Interesting, very cool.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm coming down. I was just down there a month ago before I really got, we really got talking. But next time I'm down,
let me know. I'm Fort Worth. That'd be cool.
The traffic stinks. I'll tell you that. I was cussing you that day that I was driving through there, and I was like telling my wife as we were driving, Dole Whip Dad lives somewhere here, and this is awful. It was 5 lanes back and forth, both sides.
Texas is yelling at so big.
And then the next 2 hours, all I saw was cattle.
Oh, you're in Kansas. Oh, wait, no.
Right?
Pete, next time you're down this way, you need to come through Kansas City.
Yeah, well, I want to go to a
Get with me.
Yeah.
Well, we have the Negro League Museum here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love that.
In Kansas City?
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes from me. And you talk about regrets. That is one place I have not been that I've wanted to go for probably the last 5 years. And of course, I'll see little clips on the news here in Kansas City every now and then. It's phenomenal. It is amazing. And actually, you know what? You gave me an idea to maybe see if I could go stream there, because it is. Incredible. If you look it up online, you'll see some pictures of it. They've got like a diamond inside this building, and it's really cool.
When we were with Leon Day, we met him. It was at the Babe Ruth Museum, because Babe obviously is from Baltimore and grew up here. Right down by Camden Yards, there is a townhouse that they've turned into a museum, and it was close to where Babe lived. Actually, where his house used to be was kind of where home plate is in Camden, realistically. But they have the Babe Ruth Museum, and that's where we met Leon. And Leon actually had with him a bat that Jackie Robinson, according to Leon, used in a game and signed for him. And he had it, and I got to hold it. And it was, to me, like being able to hold the Maris bat, or being able to hold people don't like Bonds or McGuire because of the steroids or anything, being able to hold that, or just anything of that historical nature, to have it in my hands and physically touch it, for me as a baseball purist, I tear up, because it was just so amazing.
I love that stuff too. We're going to have so much fun this season. You guys, we're at 340. That's crazy.
I guess I have to tell my wife she was right, because when I walked in here about 8:45, I said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to get on with Jeff and Kelly for a few minutes." She said, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." I said, "Well, tomorrow," she's like, "I'm going to bed in a little bit. You're going to be on there a while, and then you're leaving in the morning for the beach. I'll talk to you tomorrow night."
My oldest, one of my daughters went somewhere and has come home. My wife texted me and said she was leaving, and I'm pretty sure she's back. I hear noise. I missed you in our stream tonight. I would have lost a lot of. We didn't even know we were doing this yesterday at this time.
No, this was let's do this. Honestly, it was realistically done because I said, "Hey, I got all this new equipment. I'm the rookie in this team that really doesn't know if this mic's going to work."
This was the test to see if your lighting worked or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to see if it would be good. Can we go on for a few minutes to see if this works? And here we are later. But again, like you said, I think this is going to be a great thing. And we haven't even touched all the things that we're going to be able to talk about with sports and everything else, and some of the backgrounds we have, and bringing on some of the guests that we're going to do. It's a different format than some of the other people are doing. I think it's great. You need to have variety. You need to have the different things that you can watch with the different creativity of everybody. You know?
Hey, I love sports. All my sports buddies are in California. I don't know how to use a phone anymore, apparently. So this this is going to be one of the favorite parts of my week. I'm not exaggerating by any means. We also got our first dislike on the stream, so you know we've made it.
Nice.
All right. Thumbs down guy has come over. All right.
Thumbs down guys here. I gotta keep. I'm watching the chat on my phone. I have to figure out how to do it on my computer. I ended up just doing it that way because it was easier for me, and my phone sits right here on my computer. But I have to go out and come back in to get updates on dislikes and likes and people in here and all that stuff. So
That's all right.
I'll get there. I'll figure it out.
An opinion is still a click.
Yeah.
I don't even like it all.
According to Josh, he told me, because we were talking one day about that. I asked him, he said, I don't care about all those negative people. They put it in. It all helps me.
Hey, Steve's World's in the house.
What?
Really?
What?
We just noticed that dislike, and Steve's World's here.
Steve just showed up.
I have to
Hey,
wonder.
buddy, how are you?
I have to wonder. Where were you earlier when I was trying to figure things out and I knew you had the answers to it?
Pete said some really nice things about you earlier.
He did. We won't repeat them, but he did.
We didn't argue. No, I love Steve, man. Steve's one of the best.
He's awesome.
Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like an hour and a half ago I asked you guys if you wanted to promote anything because we were closing up, but it is way past my bedtime. So, for anybody who just got here, looking at you, Steve, you want to tell them what's coming up, and then we'll talk about what will be on Kelly's channel next time.
I'll do mine, and I'll throw it to Kelly. So, obviously, we started this because it's going to be a little chance for us to talk, and it's going to be, an NFL Live type situation. Next Thursday, we will be going with our first show. We are going to have our predictions and picks for all of the divisions. We're going to come out with our playoff plans and our Super Bowl winners. Maybe some of these teams, for some of these gentlemen in the chat, maybe the Colts, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. And then we are going to have some predictions on. There's your Chiefs sign. We will have predictions on our rookies of the year, both defense and offense, and your player of the year, the MVP. We will have a pick'em section that it will be brought to you by Sports Talk with Steve and Walt on Saturday night.
I like them.
Yeah, it'll be brought to you by them every week. We're excited that Walt gave me the blessing to do that, and we will be promoting and pushing their channel and what they do because they do a great job over there on Saturday night. It's must TV as far as I'm concerned. And then we will also have, as long as Brandy allows Dave to come out of the craft area and get our fantasy league together. Dave has promised me by Tuesday or Wednesday it will be together. We will have a live league that will be on one of those type of things where it'll be a daily play, a couple dollars here and there. You'll be able to play against us, maybe play against the Dis and Dat guys and their group. And that league will be brought to you by the Dis and Dat team on Wednesday nights. The Dis and Dat crew, you got to go see them out there. Great. So they Shep blessed me today to for them to be the sponsor for that, and we appreciate the fact of those two channels just being here to support us and allowing us to bring up their channel and highlight them.
My favorites.
Yep. So Kelly, you are going to be on your channel, right?
Yeah, next week it'll be on Myers and the Mouse. So make sure you have that, and if the mods would throw that link back in there again. So next week, these gentlemen will be here on Myers and the Mouse. We're going to be talking about the week one, right?
Week one, and Steve and Steve is going to help me get. Steve, I'm trying to get over 100 subscribers, so Zip doesn't steal my name. I'm at 60. I need the support. I need the force from Dis and Dat to get me over 100, so Zip doesn't take my name. Help me out, brother.
So that's going to be next week on Myers and the Mouse. Tomorrow I'll be streaming at noon. I did think about something. I do have an announcement for tomorrow that I'll do. Also, Saturday we are looking to take a field trip with Myers and the Mouse to somewhere near Kansas City area that is very Disney. Very, very Disney. Awesome. So we're excited about that. And that's all I got coming up here in the near future.
I love it.
What about you? What do you got going on, Jeff? What do you got? I haven't heard from you. What do you got going on?
Sunday night DizTube Dean, the live place.
Awesome. That's
Nice.
fantastic.
Awesome. And I don't know what else I got. That's
I've
it.
heard nothing but good things from everybody within our community about Dean. I don't really know a lot about him, but I'm looking forward to watching your stream and getting to know him a little bit. And speaking of, go
I
ahead.
had to ask him a few times. I don't know. I like to call it persistent. I think there's other names for it, but I didn't take no for an answer. And he's just such a nice guy, and he does so much for so many channels that I care about, that I like, that he's introduced me to some I didn't know. But he promotes the heck out of people, and he seems to just do it because he's awesome. And I want to promote him a little bit. I think people already love the guy in our community, but he needs even more love than we're giving him. And he's just a great guy. Oh, I forgot. I do a Saturday stream too with Gonzo. I almost forgot. Mr. Gonzo PR. I think it's on his channel. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's either on my channel or his channel. We go on Saturdays. Trying to help him build up his channel. I love his content. He's such a good guy.
Does a good job. And then your Sunday show. You got a show on Sunday.
That's DizTube. That'll be with the Live Place Dean.
DizTube.
And then I've got next Sunday I've got Josh from Resort TV 1.
That's fantastic.
The Sunday after that we'll all be in Orlando or coming home.
Your show and the one that Steve's doing, where you two guys are getting to know people. It's two different ways of doing it, but they are phenomenal.
I love it.
It's made me feel closer to all those people because it's such a personal interview. And I give you props to both of you. I think it's great. I've been watching all of them. So, hey,
Did you just break your new chair?
it moves. I had no idea it moved.
Mine does not.
So Preston was pressing buttons on this thing earlier when I sat down, and I just went to put weight on it, and the thing went and just dropped down. I'm like, what the heck? So I love my kid, but sometimes he does that stuff to me.
Princess Red just dropped Gonzo's link. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Stacy says that it's on my channel this week. Thank you so much. I should know, but I don't. Anyway, yeah, guys, this was a blast. We're almost 4 hours.
Yep.
I think it's time to go. But
Absolutely.
You guys rock. I love this already. Guys in chat, oh my gosh, thank you so much. 63 likes. One wrong person, but 63.
Hold on, Jeff. I got to stop 1 second. So, Steve, I just saw your post there. I will add that to the list of things to speak to Preston about. Let me tell you, Steve, he had the line of the night, and it was off air. And we were talking about the Halloween party that we will all be attending. And two things happened. One, I talked about having a baseball to sign to get all the people, or a book or anything. Jeff gave me the baseball idea. I originally talked about a book to sign like you guys. And I asked Preston, I say, if we have this book, you want me to sign it? He goes, nope, I want to get Mr. Steve first. So first, I got outtaken by my son. So he wants to get you first. And then secondly, I said to him, aren't you worried about Steve and having to meet him? And his answer was, nope, I got Prince Charming Dev coming. He's 6'5". So there you go. A little something for you, Steve.
I'm worried about meeting Steve.
That's
Steve,
great.
did you see our Dodgers tonight?
Did they lose?
Tonight.
Who'd they lose to?
Marlins.
Marlins.
Yeah, I think the Marlins now have
I think
4
they're
wins.
more of a AAA team than the Orioles.
I know. We got thumped, too. Thumped. You're as big as Dev, Steve? Steve, I'll be way nicer to you now. Sorry, I didn't know. Dang. I'm wider. I've only got the 5'11", but if you go total volume, I'm probably there.
Steve, he just put it in there. I was just about to say, Steve tells me he's a big guy. I haven't, obviously met Steve face to face. I can't wait to shake his hands and just, tell him thank you for opening up a friendship with me when he didn't have to. But I'm looking forward to see. It's going to be great seeing Preston and Steve interact. Preston can't, he thinks the world of Steve. Steve can do no wrong, which is amazing to me.
Well, he's a Yankees fan too. So we do know that that's not true, but no joke. I mean,
does he watch the streams? What?
He watched the streams.
Honestly,
he loves Steve.
He's one of my favorites. Like
He loves Steve. He loves the whole Dis and That crew. He watches religiously. Every week he watches religiously, and actually came home flying in the door the other night from soccer when those guys were going live, and literally there was clothes across the living room as he was trying to get to the shower to get done so he could listen to those guys. And of course, I'm in my office, he's in the bathroom, and I see him posting and putting money in, and then he walks into my office. He's like, yeah, Dad, I just let you know I'm going to super chat him. I'm like, I already know. So
That's awesome. You're doing something right. Oh, I love you back, Steve. I don't mean it. Dude. Love you to death. I mean, that's, you know, it's funny. You guys, Steve was talking about that the other night. I actually thought about this after the stream. This is going to get a little weird too for the 20th time. You know, dudes don't say I love you because we're, and I'm the least feminine dude you're going to meet. Sorry, but there's nothing wrong with that, man. And Steve, the way Steve was talking about that with the This and That crew, it made me feel good, right? Like I'm a hugger, and you know, it's not creepy to say I love you, and I love you guys, and I love you too, Steve. And I love this community, and I just love that we're doing this. And oh my gosh, we're almost at 4 hours. I should probably shut up.
well, I'll finish with that quick story of what I told you earlier about the baseball, because I don't think Steve knows. I was on the phone with Jeff, talking to him about doing this, when it was right after you had told Preston to swing a plastic bat on our thing, and he said Steve will pay for that. Literally, Jeff was on the phone with me. Thank you, Downscale. Appreciate that. Jeff was on the phone with me. And
Thank you. At least,
feminine dude, that's great.
I told myself that, so that's weird, right?
That's weird. I was on the phone with Jeff, Steve, and Preston hit a double down the line, ripped one down the third base line, gets to the first base bag, and turns to me while I'm on the phone with Jeff and goes, "Tell Mr. Steve to put that in his pipe and smoke it." It was the best thing because Jeff got to hear it live. It was awesome.
And I got to hear you get all excited. It was like, I don't know what we were talking about, but you're all, and you were like Vince Scullying it, but the dad version.
Version, yeah. He ripped it, and I was all pumped and thought, hey, he's going to turn to me and say, "Hey, Dad, look at this." And instead he turns to me and says, "Steve's World." I was like, you got to be kidding me. My wife literally turned to me and said, "That's what you and your kindergarten buddies get." That's what you
did. I don't know if it's good or bad, but that's what you did.
You know what? I loved it. I was so proud of my kid, and the fact that he thinks so much of someone else and respects them enough to do that. And he, like I said, he sat here through the whole thing tonight, listening in and being respectful and not jumping on the chat. And you know, it's lucky. I'm lucky to have that, and I can't wait to see him meet Steve. I just hope Steve doesn't give him a wedgie. So.
Karaoke man, I'm doing awesome. Hope you're doing awesome. Welcome in. I think you're getting here right at the end. Don't forget to drop some least feminine dude. I don't know. Like, I don't like it when people like give themselves nicknames, but I kind of like that one. So whatever, it is what it is.
What's the hashtag violence one you had, Jeff? What's that one? I forgot. The violence one. I forgot about that one already. I should have wrote it down.
Violence solves everything. I don't remember what I said.
Violence solves everything. That's what it is.
I swear that wasn't me. All right, 4 hours. I think like we're going to break a rule here. I cannot believe we went 4, but I had fun the whole time. We're not at 0, so we didn't scare anybody away. I hope you guys had half the fun that I had. Again, Kelly's channel, Myers and the Mouse. I don't know why I can't point the right way. I'm going to stop trying. I don't know. Are we doing it at the same time? Did we even decide that?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
I have trouble. There we go.
You just tell me. I'm not even going to. Here, I'll do. Raise the roof. Like I don't know how to. I'm going to shut up. 4 hours. I feel like is a new record for me.
Wow, I'm as white as zip. Holy cow!
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up. Good luck at the beach tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I need it. Apparently, good lord.
You need to do umbrellas and all that.
Oh god. All right, Jeff. It's been great.
Guys in chat, gals in chat, thank you so much for spending, some of you have 4 hours, but even a little time with us. Bunch of great channels in that stream or in that chat. Go check them out. All the super chats, YouTube, Pete, Kelly. I really had fun. We'll be back. Myers and the Mouse channel next week. You don't have to go, but we're going to end the stream. So you can stay here, but it'll be another video in about 40 seconds. So, hey, Mr. Eric, what's going on? I got your message. I didn't respond yet because I jumped on here. He'll be down for the big Galaxy's Edge. But anyway, it's time to go. You guys want to say anything before I hit the end broadcast button?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the end of NFL Chat. And remember, you win the race when you put a smile on someone's face.
I like that. You practiced that, didn't you?
No.
Kelly, you got to beat that.
How am I supposed to beat that?
I don't know.
Just take care of each other. Be safe. We'll see you guys next week.
Ooh, I like it. Just because violence solves everything doesn't mean you should hit anybody tomorrow. That's how I'm going to end. All right, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for being here. See you next
Good night,
week.
everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Night all.